right, welcome those of you that are watching the Kansas City-Houston game. This pass to Ronnie Harmon is incomplete. We have no score here at Mile High Stadium, the opening drive.
Now, Stan Humphries just tapped himself. You see Houston hammered Kansas City minus Joe Montana. But what we just saw there, Ronnie Harmon, that's the 4th drop that he's had in 2 weeks. And let's not forget, as we mentioned at the outset, this is the best third down back in football. 4 drops in 2 weeks. That's just uncharacteristic of a man that had 79 catches in 92.
Let's not let that Kansas City-Houston score get away, though, because those 2 ball clubs involved with these 2 ball clubs next week. Denver Monday night at Kansas City. Next Sunday, Houston at San Diego. Humphrey throws. It is too high for Anthony Miller. It will be 4th down.
I would say that will also stir up the pot, too, in Houston. Talking about the problems with Buddy Ryan, and Buddy Ryan and his group pitches the shutout. Maybe all of a sudden he can coach.
Dronette and Stan Brocker have been stirring the pot, too, after that was over.
Well, Humphries is just a little bit high here to Miller. It would have helped. I'm sure they want that one back that Harmon dropped because 3rd and 10 is too tough, and that's the result. Now they're going to have to kick.
And here is Mr. Excitement. So John Kidd will be kicking to Glenn Milburn, the rookie from Stanford, the other part of the Stanford connection. What a ball game he had last week against the Jets. Here's the return. He's got 5. He's got 10, 15, 20. He's got 25. He's got around 28 yards on the return.
Talking with Richard Smith, the special teams coach, he said this is what excites everybody. A punt return team knows if they've got a great runner that they can block for him. That's what they did for the Broncos.
Out throwing. Pass is complete, right side. He goes to Rod Bernstein, the former Charger. Now let's look at the offensive set of the Denver Broncos. And here is an offensive line. And the big man, of course, is Gary Zimmerman. He has made everybody better along that offensive line. Whitell, Karts, Habib, and Freeman. Quickly, Elway and Bernstein, Marshall, Russell, Johnson, and Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. His brother caught 7 passes this week. He's got to catch up, right?
Yeah, and here's their 3rd down package. Milburn coming in along with Vance Johnson, who has just returned to the ball club. 2nd down and 6. And here is Bernstein on a sweep to the outside. And he's going to be maybe a yard shy of the 1st down. Sean Van Horst moves up and makes the tackle. Defensively for the Chargers, Grossman, Lee, Blaze Winter, Leslie O'Neal. He, of course, is a force. Another man that can be a force is Gerald Williams. Hasn't done it yet. Gary Plummer, Mr. Steady, and the great one, Junior Seau. Frank Van Horst Fields and Stanley Richard in the secondary.
And when they go to their dime package, take a close look at number 21, Darian Gordon. He is their 1st-round pick out of Stanford. He is exciting.
And interestingly enough, a teammate of Glenn Milburn. And when we asked you about Milburn, said, were you surprised what he did last week? He said, not at all. We saw him doing it all the time. Bernstein tries to go over the top and never gets off the launching pad. Sean Lee was there waiting for him.
Sean Lee, this is his 3rd team, Tampa Bay and Miami. He has really found a home here at defensive tackle for the San Diego Chargers. Take a look inside. The push is what the big issue is. Who gets underneath who here, right here, and you can see it. The San Diego Chargers get underneath the pads of the Denver Broncos. That enables Lee to stop him, forcing 4th down.
Tom Ruin to kick. And speaking of Darian Gordon, the rookie from Stanford, the #1 draft choice, he is the return. He was the backup return man to Milburn.
I was just going to say he was second string.
He was second string as a return man to Milburn. We asked him, did he return? He says, I never did.
It's a good-looking punt. Let's see how they have this.
It will be marked out of bounds at the 12-yard line. We have no score. When we come back, the Chargers will be on offense, a 37-yard kick. San Diego Chargers, they huddle during the timeouts on the side and come out and are set to go. And they have a 1st down at their own 12-yard line. And here is Marion Butts, has pressure from the backside, the pressure from Shane Dronette. And then Darrell Hall came up to make the play.
Marion Butts is actually, back in 1990, he was a Pro Bowl running back, led the AFC in rushing. And since that time, it hasn't exactly been the same. You can see in 91, look at how the numbers in both average per carry and touchdowns decline. I think in 1990, many felt like that he was going to be one of the next great backs, maybe the greatest back in San Diego history, but for whatever reason, he hasn't had it.
The roar comes up for Alfonso Taylor, the trim one at 360 pounds. Now the nose guard. And the pass, meanwhile, is complete to Anthony Miller, but the crowd, everyone was watching number 95.
I got to tell you something, Charlie. This man, 347 pounds, when he was in Phoenix, along with a 360-pound Keith Rucker, they were nicknamed Pork and Loin. Here comes Loin putting on the serious pressure onto Humphries, but he was able to complete it downfield to Miller. And man, oh man, he's got what's referred to as Dunlop's disease. You know, where your belly Dunlops over the belt.
That's right.
I tell you what, though, that was some rush.
Now, for your viewers at home, what is your waist size? We'll tell you his in a minute. And here's Marion Butts off of the right side. Alphonso Taylor's waist, what is yours?
34 and a half.
Mine is 36.
Whatever.
It's 38. I lied. His is 52.
Hey,
52.
Great story. Great story where Wade Phillips, he told Wade Phillips that he could stuff a basketball. Wade Phillips said, with what? You know, Charlie.
Willie Oshiden is the injured player, and he is being assisted from the field.
Interesting point during my heyday, which seems so far ago now. A guy that was 300.
Heyday?
Okay, all right. My halcyon days.
Okay.
How's that?
I like
a
that
guy
better.
that was 300 pounds was considered completely out of shape. Now there's not a team that doesn't have at least 5, 6, 7 guys over 300 pounds. And of course, the point there with regards to Taylor is, hey, what difference does it make if he can play?
Humphries, good protection, goes left side, pass is complete. He's going to have the first down. And it is Nate Lewis on the receiving end, a young man not expected to play early in the week because of a thigh bruise. But of course, you know that he returned the opening kickoff, or down it rather in the end zone, and has the reception and a first down at the 36.
They really need him on offense, because otherwise, if they don't have Nate Lewis, he's their second best receiver. If he's out of the game, then they can totally focus upon Anthony Miller, their Pro Bowler, and double cover him all over the field.
Little play action fake to Marion Butts. And the pass is over the head of Anthony Miller, and he gets decked by Charles Demery.
Again, even Anthony Miller would tell you that that was a catchable ball. Anthony Miller, a perennial participant in the fastest man competition. Look at the vertical jump here. A little bit wobbly, but he certainly could have caught that. And for missing it, he pays the price. Remind me of something Fred Biletnikoff used to tell me. He said, look, you're going to get hit anyway. Might as well catch it.
Doesn't hurt as much when you catch it, does it?
No, absolutely not. Interesting graphic there. The only wide receiver over 1,000 yards in the AFC. That shows the continuity of Anthony Miller, 3-time Pro Bowler for the Chargers.
2nd and 10. This one dropped off underneath to Ronnie Harmon. Harmon has the first down. And a little hurdle move at the 49-yard line of Denver. First down, San Diego. Frank Robinson was there for the defense.
Lilo Lang had him in coverage, and Ronnie Harmon just totally juked him to the inside. Watch number 21 in the middle of your screen. He has Ronnie Harmon. He's waiting for him to cross. Look at that. He runs what's called a swirl move, which is faking the cross and coming the other direction. And here Ronaldo Nehemiah has nothing on Ronnie Harmon as he gets the first down.
He picks up a quick 15 yards on the play. Interesting, the marker on this side says second down, and the other side says first down. It is a first down. That's the mark at the bottom of your screen. Don't worry about it. Flags come flying immediately. And it's not about the marker.
I think it was Courtney Hall being a little intimidated by having Taylor across from him again. That is a big body. And I've seen some big bodies.
False start, 53, the center. 5 yards, repeat second down.
I don't blame him. Now, what size jacket, sport coat? You're a big guy. What size sport coat do you wear?
50 long. Oh, look at that double clutch. You're absolutely right. He was a little psyched out by him.
50 long. I wear 44 long, which
Okay.
is kind of average.
All right.
He wears a 65 long.
What?
A 65.
65?
long.
My family could fit in there. 65 long.
You could house the homeless in downtown Denver in that jacket.
Oh, man.
First and 15. Mecklenburg waiting on Ronnie Harmon and smothers him.
I'm going to be interested, Charlie, around the second and third quarter when the Chargers start to make their adjustments. Greg Craig, their outstanding nose tackle, isn't in this game. That's the reason why we see both Drozdov and Taylor playing. And what's happening is the inside backers like Mecklenburg are coming more often. They're not respecting the pass, certainly not early in the game. They could be right for some play-action passes in the middle of the second or third quarter.
And what does Stan Humphries tell us? He expects to see the Denver blitz to stop the run.
That's exactly what he's seeing, but they haven't adjusted to it.
Drops this one off to Harmon outside. And Harmon a little head fake, and he is sealed against the sideline. That is an excellent defensive play by Lilo Lang, and he simply took away the inside, had only the sideline waiting for him, so he couldn't cut back.
Well, he also knew that it was 3rd and 16, so he doesn't want to happen what happened before, which is, yeah, you can have the thing in the flat and we'll give up 6 yards, but I'm not going to give you a chance to take the first down. Lilo Lang has a great deal of responsibility in the secondary for the Broncos. He is the nickel back, and he usually comes in, and a lot of times he's taking their best inside receiver, and certainly in this case for the Chargers, that's Ronnie Harmon.
6.5 minutes left, first quarter, no score. Good matchup, 2 good ball clubs. The sliding reception by Nate Lewis is going to be shy of the first down. The question is whether or not he got it. The officials say he did.
Well, he made the catch, but he's going to be well short, and they're going to punt it away.
I wasn't so sure that he got it.
He slides in. Where's the ball? From this angle, it's tough to see.
Oh, I thought he had a little short hop.
Hey, I'm a pass catcher, baby. Got that left hand
underneath.
I know. I always want to give the guy a break.
You always want to give it to him.
Oh.
I'm objective. All right, John Kidd will be kicking. Milburn is the return man, but he is going to either go for the corner or go straight up and straight down, so his coverage will be there. That's a little too strong. That'll carry to the end zone.
Oh, brother. That's terrible.
Yeah, between the two, he didn't get either one of them. And so Denver will have the ball, 42 yards on the kick. The line of scrimmage, their own 20-yard line, 5:39 left. First quarter, no score. Back in a moment. This is Charlie Jones and Todd Christensen. Welcome back to sold-out Mile High Stadium. 91 degrees, an absolutely gorgeous day in Denver. 2 great ball clubs, and you'll find out a lot about both of them today. San Diego winning at home, Denver winning on the road. They're both 1-0. Elway stands in. The pass is complete over the right side. This is to Derek Russell. Now for an update, let's go to New York and Jim Lamplin.
And take a look at the 3rd game-winning field goal of the day. Earlier, Philadelphia and Indianapolis. Now Jason Hansen of the Detroit Lions. A spike into the heart of the Parcells Pats as he nails this overtime field goal to give Detroit a 19-16 win. Barry Sanders over 100 yards in the second half. That was the difference as the Lions held off New England in OT. Now back to Charlie and Todd.
I like that team too, Charlie. 2-0 now, plus they have the 5th place schedule.
All right. Parcells, though. New England now not a contender, but they are reaching respectability. Knocked away. Good defensive play by Donald Frank. So that's a good sign to have New England come back and be playing better under Bill Parcells.
Yeah, I think the final score last week is a little deceptive. You know, it was 17-14 heading into the 4th quarter. Then Andre Reed had a big day. You're right, Donald Frank here does a nice job of anticipating the ball, going over the top of Cedric Tillman, getting his hand on it. Excellent coverage.
And it's 3rd down and 3. Elway now from the shotgun. And beside him is Glenn Milburn. And Milburn swings to the right. He comes back to the left, and the pass is dropped. Cedric Tillman could not hang on to it. He was hit immediately by the rookie from Stanford, Darian Gordon.
Big matchup today, Charlie. 2 all-pros, 2 arguably the best at their position, right defensive end and left tackle, Jeff Zimmerman and Leslie O'Neal. Jeff Zimmerman wins the battle here, pushing him to the outside, keeping O'Neal away from Elway. Leslie O'Neal last year led the AFC in sacks with 17. Jeff Zimmerman, 4-time Pro Bowler. That's one to watch today.
Tom Ruin will be kicking to Darian Gordon. Good kick. Good kick. Takes it at the 15. Has 5 on the return, has 10, stretches out, about 14 yards on the return. Tony Kimbrough makes the tackle. Good return, 58 yards on the kick with that 14-yard return. We have a marker on the play. And our first conference, Ron Blum is the referee.
Illegal block, 34 on the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, timeout.
We have no score. We'll step aside for a moment. Reggie Johnson is there looking and taping his ankle. He was their 2nd-round pick in '91 out of Florida State. What a ball club Florida State has again this year.
Well,
and also Dan Williams, we understand, is a sprained right knee and is out for at least the first half. And that means adjustments in the front 3 for the Broncos. And it's a first down at the 19-yard line for the Chargers, and the handoff is inside to Ronnie Harmon. Are they starting Harmon now on first down? They certainly are. He always said he was more than a third down back. A chance for you to check the 10-minute ticker as the scores go by.
One of the things they wanted to do is they want to run right at Darren Drozdov because they don't feel that he's what Cragen is, and certainly not. He makes the tackle here, but that's after Courtney Hall has pushed him downfield 5 yards.
Second down and 6.
Drozdov, an interesting cat, 7 different tattoos, a pet boa constrictor, and before every game he feels compelled to regurgitate.
And his nickname is the Mad Russian. Ronnie Harmon, a couple of head fakes before he got to the line of scrimmage. Everything was closed off inside. He comes to the outside 30-yard line, and he's going to pick up the first down. And here is probably more than you'd ever want to know about the rookie free agent from Maryland, Darren Drozdov.
There's one of the tattoos there on his arm. The one on his leg says his name, Droz. As his family, quite a few of his family, in fact, are out here watching this game today.
And Humphreys throws, and Nate Lewis had to come back for it and is going to pick up about 9. That is his 3rd reception of the ball game. He is going to be maybe 1 or 2 yards shy of the first down.
And you know, for somebody who had an injury coming into this game, I like the way he's playing. And the point that you just made is very good, Charlie. They teach your wide receivers, come back to the ball. If he doesn't come back to the ball there, the way Dennis Smith was closing, he might have batted that ball down. Excellent job by Lewis, knowing where to be on the football field.
So it is 2nd and 2 at the 39-yard line. Total offense, 91-11. But the number that counts is on the scoreboard, and it's 0-0. Play action fake. Now going deep, and Lewis is there, and he's overthrown. Nate Lewis had a couple of steps on Darrell Hall.
They got exactly what they wanted in that matchup, Charlie. They got a wide receiver in Darrell Hall, who is basically the strong safety, the man who is the heir apparent to Dennis Smith. That was a mismatch. Humphreys made the point when we were talking to him yesterday that his arm last week was not 100%. He said to you, what was the number he gave
90%.
Yeah, 90%. He felt a lot stronger, and I bet right now he wished that pass it was about 65%.
Last week I heard I would have made it. That's right. We've got a timeout on a very warm day, and a time for us to remind you that next Sunday NBC Sports presents another action. Harmon, he picks up the first down. Stopped by Mike Crow for an update. Let's go to New York.
To see high drama in the Georgia Dome, Charlie Jones, after Bobby Hebert had produced 3 late touchdown passes to tie Atlanta with New Orleans at 31 apiece, Hebert coughs up a fumble in the last minute. Morton Anderson capitalizes as time runs out, and the Saints survive 34-31 in a thriller. Back to Charlie and Todd.
Interesting point in that game, Charlie, that Morton Anderson finally broke the record with his 25th consecutive field goal, but then he missed his next one. And so now the next guy in line, ironically enough, is in our game today. The kicker for the San Diego Chargers, John Carney, who has 22 straight heading into this ball game.
Carl Mecklenburg and Shane Dronette making the last stop on Marion Butts.
Chargers might want to think about doing something with number 77. That's the 3rd tackle for loss he's had, and we're still in the first quarter.
And during training camp, he had an inner ear problem, and at one time they thought this might be the end of his career, but it came on and he got some medication and is doing fine.
This is one of the, just looking at him, you can tell he's one of the all-time tough guys. Short of a lobotomy, this guy was good play.
Flag is down. Another one is down. Pass is tipped, and it's incomplete. And he got a couple of markers. 1 minute and 19 seconds. That is the time remaining in the first quarter. We have no score. And it will be offsides. Was it Simon Fletcher that got a jump start for the Denver Broncos?
Offside, 73 defense, 5 yards. Repeat, second down.
Now, we pointed out a moment ago how the San Diego Chargers in total offense way out in front of the Denver Broncos. We'll go back and look, and there you see as he takes the jump.
The reason why he wants that jump, Charlie, is that he is 1 sack away from the all-time Bronco record for sacks, Simon Fletcher is. And that's an interesting point because you think about all the great Rulon Jones, Rich Tombstone Jackson.
Yes.
You don't think of Fletcher in that context, but there it is. He's got the numbers to back it up.
All right, here we go. Second down and 6. Dropped over the middle to Ronnie. Harmon drops it.
Dropped is the operative word.
Man,
You know how, Charlie?
You're not going to see it that often.
I was
right
just going to
over the
say,
middle.
how many times can you make the excuse for the fact that Ronnie Harmon held out and didn't get enough training camp?
Well, that's part of it, sure.
Well, sure it is, but you can't keep using that as an excuse. The reason I say that is I'm thinking about, I remember, and you would remember this too, in San Diego one time where Fouts held out into like the third game of the season, signed on a Thursday. On Sunday, he went out there for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
But that's Dan Fouts. This is Ronnie Harmon.
I understand that.
That's
but
Hall of Fame.
But
who, by the way, will be honored at halftime.
Justifiably so.
Of next week's ballgame. Going deep, and it is short of Nate Lewis. And also arriving late was Dennis Smith, and they don't drop a flag, and they shouldn't.
The face that you just saw on Stan Humphries is disappointment in Nate Lewis. He could have adjusted to this ball. Watch how he's running, and watch how Humphries just lays it out. He needs to slow down, break down a little bit, make the adjustment. Right here, he doesn't come back soon enough. He tries to go for the sliding catch. If he just broke down his stride a little bit, he would have had the catch for a big gain, and that's why you saw the look on Humphries' face.
John Carney is the backup punter, and he is kicking. And it's not that bad a kick.
I'd say not. Much better than the one Kidd just had.
Kidd has a lower back strain. He may have gotten it when he made the tackle earlier in the ball game on Milburn.
But he punted after that.
Well, and yeah, but maybe that's what hurt it again.
Well, all I know is that John Carney now has an inside the 20 on his stats.
He's done very well.
Pretty decent kick, 39-yarder on the 12-yard line.
There's more great Notre Dame football coming your way next Saturday. The Irish will be back with the coverage for you next Saturday from South Bend. Here we have no score. Elway hands off to Rod Bernstein. And he's going to pick up 3 or 4 on the right side. Going back to the thought of a moment ago, is that although the Chargers have completely dominated on offense up and down the field, like last week, same thing against Seattle, they were not able to put it in the end zone.
That was the comment they made. They worked it between the 20s. You see John Kidd. I think you were right, Charlie. That lower back strain must be something. You know, because you figure that, I mean, it's not that he's overly busy. Instead of punting the ball, he must really be in some pain.
I think he got it, the first part of it, when he made the tackle.
Well, because of the extension of the hamstring and all the physiological ramifications, I think that the lower back is one of the things that a punter does hurt.
And here's Rod Bernstein. Some nice inside moves.
Also some nice blocking here, Charlie. Rod Bernstein following behind his offensive line, starting to create some holes that were non-existent first part of the game. Take a look at Zimmerman pushing O'Neal to the outside. O'Neal just gets a hand on it, but that's it. Bernstein, 238 pounds and pretty nifty for that size, gets the Broncos the first down.
Still looks funny wearing number 33. No score into the first quarter. With San Diego was 82, but he did miss a lot of games with the Chargers.
Well, of course, the reason he has 33 is you see the reason right there. He's missed 33 games. But in reality, what it is that since being the first-round pick of these San Diego Chargers in 1987, he has yet to play a full season. So a lot of people question how the Broncos could spend that much money.
Elway with good protection, and then he has hit the ball, is loose. No, they're going to rule the play dead. They say that he was moving forward. Bert Grossman came through to nail John Elway.
He did, but you know that he really did have quite a bit of time to throw.
He did.
You know, last week against the Jets, that was something that you commented upon, is that he had a lot more time than you've seen in the past. He had 5 seconds to throw, and the average is about 3.5 seconds. You can see he's waiting around. He sees the entire field. He sees all of the receivers downfield, but nobody's open, and that enabled Grossman to come in and put the hit on him.
West Coast offense in the first quarter, San Diego, 96 yards with that offense. Denver's offense, their West Coast offense, 29 yards. And here is Bernstein. He just runs over Stanley Richard and gets a couple more yards. And let's check the 10-minute ticker. Buffalo out in front of Dallas. That's interesting. And Miami in front of the Jets.
So, hypothetical.
Yes.
Dallas loses to Buffalo. Does Emmitt Smith finally get his money?
You'd have to go to the other Jones. the one with all of the money. The other Jones from Arkansas.
Just call me McMahon. Man, am I a straight man
yes,
for you.
Well done. Now for the shotgun. And we've got movement on the right side of the line. That was Russell Freeman.
Well, that's what happens when Bert Grossman gets in Elway's face. He knows the quickness, and so he's trying to get a head start, move back. Russell Freeman, of course, last year, Charlie, was the left tackle.
False start prior to the snap, 68 offense.
And the offensive line coach, John Levra, was telling me that he's much better adjusted to the right side. And, of course, That's because, you know, as a rookie, boy, I tell you, he took a lot of abuse from the press and people. But after all, he's a rookie free agent. You put him in the most important place in the offensive line, it's tough. There's John Leverett right there doing an outstanding job. But as he mentioned to me, having Gary Zimmerman, all of a sudden my IQ's a lot higher.
That's right. He's a better coach, isn't he?
That's exactly right.
As he has a 4-time Pro Bowl player now at left tackle. Little timing pattern. This one is complete to Shannon Sharp. 3rd and 15. And it's a first down. Shannon Sharp with the reception at 7 last week. He and his brother Sterling have a little bit of a wager going. Sterling plays with Green Bay. He had 7 last week and 7 this week.
Now, this is poor coverage on the part of Marquez Pope, who doesn't get to Shannon Sharp quick enough. Doesn't look up soon, and Elway with a nice touch pass lays it right on the money.
And they go on a hurry-up offense, and he fires, and the pass is complete. And it's back-to-back first down. First spark of offense for the Broncos, this one to Derek Russell.
Well, the yardage total in the first quarter was certainly non-existent. They felt like they had to shake things up, and that's exactly what they're doing, and certainly the crowd likes it.
29 yards in the first period. Changing the tempo and going deep as a man. He's in. Arthur Marshall.
Ever since the Miami game in preseason, they've asked the question, why didn't they go to that hurry-up that was so effective in that third game of the preseason? You can see right there, Marshall gets his left foot down. Frank complains, but to no avail. Nice catch by Marshall, and once again, Elway showing surprising touch that in the past had eluded him.
34 yards on the touchdown pass. Here is the extra point. And it is good. And the Denver Broncos move on top. 13 minutes to go, first half. They lead it 7-0, matching Elway's number. Is kicking off. Nate Lewis will take it deep in the end zone and down it. The ball will come out to the 20. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Arthur Marshall, one of the inexperienced wideouts that the Denver Broncos have, puts a great move on Donald Frank. And as I mentioned before, look at Elway's touch. Doesn't drill it in there, puts it over, and that's where it had to be. Right there, look at the left foot, just inside the chalk. Good call by the official.
And you mentioned the fact as you look at the scoring drive, the throw to the wideout last week in their opener in New York against the Jets, the wideouts caught only 2 passes.
That's the reason why they invited Vance Johnson back.
To come back and join them. And Elway said, I'm glad to have him back.
Yeah, he is indeed.
All right, San Diego trailing now 7-0. And they'll start from their own 20-yard line. And they start on the ground with Eric Bieniemy.
You know,
Bieniemy back in familiar territory of the University of Colorado.
Exactly right. You know, it's an interesting point. Sylvester Croom, the running back coach for the San Diego Chargers, tells the quartet of running backs before the game, everybody is going to get in the game, so you have to be ready. But if somebody is hot, we'll stay with them. Clearly in the first quarter, Marion Butts was not hot. Hence the reason why Bieniemy now gets his chance to run the ball.
And we have a flag.
The very thing that Stan Humphries is talking about, the blitzes. The blitzes from the secondary to stop the running game, that's exactly what Dennis Smith did. What I don't understand is Stan is telling us about that, yet at the same time, what's the deal? They can't pick it up.
We have a fumble recovered by Denver. We have a personal foul, 32 San Diego, 15 yards, first down.
So Bieniemy fumbles and is also called on the personal foul.
My guess is that this is frustration after fumbling the ball. Right to the left of your screen, here comes the missile. Dennis Smith, 34 years of age, the oldest DB in the National Football League, but he makes the play. Now let's watch number 32. There you can see he's going to get pushed from the back and he's going to retaliate. Here comes, pow, ball comes out. Mecklenburg with the recovery. You don't get to see it at the end, but Bieniemy turned around and took a swing at Frank Robinson.
Goal right, pass is complete. down Denver. Reggie Rivers. And suddenly it's 13-0.
This is a great call by Jim Fossil. And the reason I say that, Charlie, is that how many times do you get a turnover and you just have some nondescript play where you run off tackle or you run up the middle? Instead, he goes with a misdirection. Play off the counter boot, and he gets the ball to Rivers. That man can't be too happy right now for what he did, both the fumble and the penalty, literally handing the Broncos a touchdown.
So after a scoreless first quarter, the extra point is good, and Denver moves on top by a score of 14-0 over San Diego. We'll be back with a kickoff in a moment. Less than a minute, to be exact, 51 seconds, 5-1. The Denver Broncos have scored 14 points, and they are out in front by 2 touchdowns. Here's the kickoff to Nate Lewis. 2 yards deep, he's going to come out with it. And he's going to dive near the 20-yard line. They'll say that he's down. And now let's go back to the touchdown.
The responsibility for the running back is the left outside linebacker. Junior Seau gets completely fooled. That leaves Burt Grossman, the defensive end, in coverage, and he's no match for Rivers. Here's the misdirection. Everybody going to the left. There you see Grossman in coverage, but there's just no way he's going to stay with the running back. Great call by Denver, putting the San Diego Charger defense on its heels and striking immediately. And Elway, after his second touchdown pass, needless to say, pretty pleased with things.
So San Diego now down by 14. Will start from the 20-yard line, and they send Anthony Miller in motion. And a play-action fake, the toss to Miller. And he is going to tack on 3 or 4 yards after the catch. And Tyrone Braxton made the tackle, as you have a chance to check up on the NBC ticker and all of the other scores in the National Football League. Rams in front of Pittsburgh. Wade Phillips, the new head coach of the Denver Broncos, and Bobby Ross.
This may seem like
his second year.
I was about to say, Charlie, this may seem like a small point, but I really genuinely like both these guys because they're such non-self-promoters. You know, in this day and age of coaches who have to always see their name in the paper, get a picture, or have a commercial. I mean, that's all well and good, but I like the fact that these guys are very self-deprecating, and coaching is their #1 priority.
Training camp, we talked with several of the players for the San Diego Chargers, and we asked them about last year. They got a terrible start, 0-4. They said, what was the difference? What happened? He said that Bobby Ross didn't panic, didn't change anything. He said, we have good personnel, we have a good scheme, we have good coaches, it is going to work. Nobody panicked. Everybody looked around and says, hey, it is going to work. And then it did. And the proof it in the pudding that it did work at the end of the season. They won 11 of the last 12. But they've never panicked. And here's Marion Buck. As you saw, it was a first down at the 30-yard line. It'll now be 2nd and 7 at the 33. Just under an 11.5 minutes time remaining. We're in the first half here at Mile High Stadium. They have stuffed Marion Butts.
Well, it's interesting.
6 carries, only 3 yards.
I was going to say, sometimes the coach keeps the guy in for confidence. You know, the enemy has the fumble. But they said, enough about confidence building here. We got to get our big guy back in. We can't afford turnovers.
Pass is complete right at the 40-yard line. And Nate Lewis, again, he was not scheduled to play. They're going to bring it back?
They're going to say he dropped it?
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, goodness.
Now, we do not have instant replay, and of course, we will analyze it to death.
Well, no, we have instant replay.
Oh, we do, of course, yes.
Yes.
But I mean, the generic we, the world, does not have.
I was just about to say what a terrific catch that was in the middle of the field. He got absolutely hammered by number 49. You'll be able to see it. There he is, settling down in the zone, takes a run at him and see where the ball goes. Never leaves his grasp.
No, he
What's
had it
the
all
problem?
the way.
Come on. Great effort on the part of Lewis. He got dogged. That's too bad.
And it was Gordon Wells, the umpire, that made the call. Flag is down. Pass is complete right side to Ronnie Harmon. A little spin move and a little hurdle move, and he's up the sideline to the 40 and then out of bounds. But there were 2 flags dropped back at the 31 and the 23, or the 29 and 23. Yeah, and it will be against San Diego. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Good play.
When the yellow flags go like that, you know that's holding.
Holding, 74 offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
So Charger mistakes. Eric Bieniemy, the fumble, then the personal foul, the penalty here, the call on Nate Lewis. I'm not sure that's a Charger mistake.
No, that's a referee's mistake.
Official's
the
mistake.
Umpires, rather.
But right now, it is all going the Bronco way.
Well, as we've commented,
but they make their own breaks too. That's
absolutely.
The other thing.
But then, as you and I have commented more than once, this is a very difficult place to play. In fact, the Chargers, coming into this game since 1970, 3-20 at Mile High Stadium.
And the Denver Broncos at home, almost unbeatable.
Best in the NFL over the last 10 years.
Third down. Here's the screen over the middle, a middle screen to Ronnie Harmon. And well diagnosed by Mike Crow. Crow picked him up out of the backfield. And we'll have fourth down.
Well, Ronnie Harmon runs just a little bit of a flat route. They really wanted to get the ball downfield, but Humphreys was so pressed, that's all he could do. Mills makes the tackle for, as you mentioned, only about a 5 or 6 yard gain, but clearly that's not enough.
And John Carney will be kicking again. And the return man is Glenn Milburn.
Got a pretty decent first punt.
And the pressure is on. Not a bad second punt. Nice move. You expect it now. Another nice move. And then caught from behind. Marquez Pope got faked and then came back and made the play from the backside. Denver up 14-0. 9:44 time remaining second quarter. Denver with a 14-0 lead. Denver has the ball at their own 35-yard line. And Elway to throw. Reggie Rivers, who has scored the touchdown. This time he picks up about 13 and the first down. Donald Frank and Gary Plummer make the tackle.
The Chargers.
And now let's take, before we do that, let's take a look at the natural gas quarterback efficiency rating. You have Montana, Elway, and Stan Humphries is down at number 14.
Yeah, don't forget that is one game after all.
Oh yeah, that's true. And a first down at the 48. And they're waiting on Milburn. You have a feeling that the Chargers, and they were nervous about him. He had 148 all-purpose yards last week. And everybody I talked to, they kept bringing up, oh yeah, we know about him. We're worried about him. We know about him.
I was about to say, if I was San Diego, I'd be nervous. That's the first time Junior Seau's made a tackle. And here we are now, nearly in the middle of the second quarter. That's not good for San Diego.
That's right. And Junior told us this was his guy. He cuts back, has the opening, slides through, first down. 5'8", 177 pounds from Stanford.
Well, clearly nobody had him that time. Offensive line gets a good charge. Once again, you can see the Chargers are on their heels. Misdirection, you saw 55. Look at Junior Seau running completely out of the play. And there's Milburn on the middle, completely untouched until he gets downfield for the first down.
And again, the no-huddle offense by the Broncos. And Milburn tried to cut back. And Junior was waiting for him this time. Junior wanted to say hello to his little girl, Sydney Bowe. 4 pounds, 11 ounces. She's only 3 weeks old now.
2 months premature. I like that.
Doing just fine.
B-E-A-U, Bowe. He said he thought about, he might have wanted a son.
Nah, not Junior. Deep tips, incomplete. Good coverage. Donald Frank was there along with Darren Carrington.
Similar route that Marshall ran earlier. This time Donald Frank, stride for stride, does a nice job breaking up the pass.
Look at the Giants. They now have won 2 in a row for Dan Reeves. Third down. Close to the first down. Arthur Marshall on the receiving end.
Now I'm interested here.
Now they're going to go for it.
Last week against the Jets, they had a similar situation. I like what John Elway's doing here. He's not even bothering to look over to say whether we're going to do it or not.
And Bernstein is the remaining back, was in the last set. San Diego says, no, hold it. We want to catch our breath. We'll take a timeout. We'll step aside. Denver up 14-0, and they're driving. 73% of his passes, but not with it. This is the vortex.
This is a vortex ball. Maybe this is the reason he's done it. He threw this for charity. This goes twice as far as what they claim. John Elway threw this 97 yards, and in throwing it 97 yards, he raised $95,000 for a charity to fight child abuse.
And he did not throw his arm. Flag is down. San Diego may be offside.
Unbelievable. How can that happen? You call timeout to get yourself set up. You've got 4th and 1. You've got a quarterback who's notorious for doing the barking and drawing you off sides, and you fall into it. That just, you know what? San Diego, I don't want to go so far as to say is brain dead, but certainly today they're not playing sharp.
Offside, defense, nose tackle, 5 yards, first down.
The other thing, and you pointed this out while we were away, is that you'll take another look. Here it is.
Ridiculous.
Oh, yes.
No excuse.
And the other thing is that the leader of the defense, Junior Seau, is not animated like he usually is. He's usually everywhere, involved in everything. He's been very quiet. Well, and I think they miss his leadership.
Absolutely. It seems like at least twice a game you see Junior jump up and down, throw his arms, do something.
Get something going.
But quite frankly, that hasn't been the case.
He has Milburn.
Good coverage.
Right side, shot to the 10. That is Sharp's second reception. And it's going to be first down and goal to goal. In reality, it is at the 10-yard line. He will not be able to pick up a first down going in. And he has Milburn to his right side. He, of course, being John Elway. And a little swing to Milburn. And a stop and a shift. Another move. And an exciting 3 extra yards for Glenn Milburn. Marquez Pope finally got him.
Now that's the sort of cut that you're only supposed to be able to make on AstroTurf. Watch as he stops and goes by Junior Seau in the same move. Okay, he's going to avoid Seau. Okay, that's one move, but here, boink, and then back. Holy cow! That's great. He's able to get past Frank. Boy, I tell you what, that is some sweet feed.
6-yard line, fun to watch. He comes out, Rod Bernstein comes in. Bernstein, the remaining back. And there's nothing there. No, that's not exactly true. He's going to spin forward for a couple of yards. Leslie O'Neal gets it.
I was going to say one of the few times today that Leslie O'Neal has been able to get past Jeff Zimmerman. He takes an inside rush. Watch number 65. Here comes O'Neal. Actually does the swim move, beats him to the outside, actually gets held, but is still able to get in on Bernstein. Leslie O'Neal, of course, in the preseason signed a new 3-year deal, and he seemed to be very happy.
Yes.
And I asked you the question whether or not that's going to affect him. You see there led the AFC in sacks, but that's going to make him less hungry, and you didn't seem to think so.
I don't think so. Not at all. Not Leslie. He just wants to play. Doesn't want to practice that much, but wants to play. Sharp, and he is going to be pulled down. Shannon Sharp with the reception and pulled down in his track.
Good open field tackle by Floyd Fields. That's one of the reasons why your strong safeties sometimes need to be about 5'10", 5'11", 210. Shannon Sharp, a very strong receiver, 230 pounds. Excellent job. Has him out in the flat all by himself. It's a mano-a-mano here with Sharp and Fields. Fields is up to the task. Pulls him right down. Good job by number 26.
And Jason Elam with the field goal attempt. This will be 20 yards. And to go up 17-0, and it is good. So Elam hits from 20 yards out, and the Broncos are out in front of the Chargers by a score of 17-0. And we have a marker on the play.
Little fisticuffs following the field goal. Of course, it'll be assist on the kick. Russell Freeman, I think, was getting into it with one of the defensive linemen for the Chargers.
Unnecessary roughness, 94 on San Diego. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff, 15 yards.
Tonight on NBC, it is a
called Blind Date. Did you ever see that with Kim Basinger and Bruce Willis?
No, but I bet he was good.
He was. He was very funny.
Yeah,
very funny.
He's really talented. The kickoff will come from the 50-yard line.
Now, I bet the crowd here is hoping that Elam will put it through the uprights, but if the Broncos were smart, he'd pop this ball up. Or if they want to really go for the kill, hey, why not go for the onside kick? Because if they recover it, they recovered at the 35 anyway. I wonder what Wade Phillips is thinking here.
Ooh, you're maniacal, aren't you?
There he did. Popped it up. Good decision. Now, plus the clock going backwards, Latrell means. And as a result, we're on the 10-yard line. Good job by the special teams of the Broncos.
And a very nice pooch kickoff by Jason Elam. He is a very effective kicker. You talked with him. He was taken in the 3rd round of the draft.
Yeah, he's a pretty good kicker for a pilot. You know, not too bad.
That's right.
Now he's 5 for 5 in the NFL season. They really feel like that this is the guy eventually, Charlie, that's going to knock off Tom Dempsey's record. You know, it was a heated competition in the preseason with David Treadwell, but when he made 3 straight kicks over 50 yards, there was no question. Plus the fact that, don't forget, they spent a 3rd round pick on him, extremely high for a kicker.
And you mentioned the fact that he was a pilot, that he is a pilot. He started flying when he was 5 years old in the lap of an instructor. They handed him the sticky, went right into a dive. Dan Humphries back to throw, pass is complete right side, and this is Nate Lewis. He's going to be down a yard, maybe 2 shy of the first down. That is his 4th reception.
When Nate can't catch a break, now he bounces to the knees and gets up. Of course, it's the right call here, but earlier, of course, the catch that they had to take back. For somebody that's injured, they're sure going to him a lot. Nate Lewis showing good hands here, catching it in the middle. His knees certainly do touch the ground. Lilo Lang, he bounces up, hopes he can get away with it, but the official right on top of it.
2nd down and a yard at the 19. Lewis now coming in motion. Humphries to throw. Drops this one back, goes Lewis, juggles it, holds on, and has the 1st down.
If he could have kept his balance, he had a similar move to the one that Milburn had earlier. Almost got away with that. Little bit of a slant route right at the end, almost made a move. Take a look, just a little slant route. Now watch his movement here. He almost right there. Oh, if his feet don't give out, look at that. He's got a lot of green grass there on the other side of Dennis Smith. That could have been a big play.
Remember yesterday when we were talking with Stan Humphries, said, what about the other receivers outside of Anthony Miller? He said Nate Lewis. He really made a point of saying Nate Lewis. He really is coming along.
It's a very good point.
And he goes deep. And it is incomplete.
Oh, no.
Sean Jefferson.
Oh, Stan Humphries. Dennis Smith was late getting over. That was zone coverage. Braxton funnels him to Dennis Smith, but Dennis Smith didn't get back there quick enough, and Stan Humphries surely wants that one back. What a throw. Look at Humphries putting this right on the hands of Sean Jefferson, one of the few receivers left in the NFL who doesn't have the gloves. Maybe he'd have been better off there if he'd had the tackified ones, and it would have stuck, and they'd have had 6.
And Humphries, you know, we said 90% is what he told us. That was more of a 100% throw.
Beautiful
strength
throw.
and distance.
Right on the money.
Yeah. Still coming back from that shoulder problem in preseason. Now he scrambles and now he slides out and he's still on his feet. He looks for a block. No. There's got to be a flag.
Oh, goodness.
He went down feet first and then was hit. And the reason you go down feet first is so you don't get the hit.
I'll tell you why, Charlie. What happened was that Alfred Papunu comes back and absolutely hammers Steve Atwater. It wasn't Atwater's fault. Take a look at the end of this. Humphries, not known for his nimble feet here in the back, is able to avoid the rush. Now comes to his left. Watch to the left of your screen. Number 86 is going to come in and absolutely blindside Steve Atwater. Watch 27 come into your screen. Here it comes. Pow! Look at that. Look at how his head snaps back. You're right. It did look like he was trying to hurt him, but he was just trying to get out of the way of Papuna, who just laid Atwater on him.
And technically, it's a sack. Now there's time. Lots of time. And now he runs out of time. He could feel the pressure coming from the backside, and that was Jeff Robinson, the rookie from Idaho, taken in the 4th
Interesting
round.
At the end of you saw there Steve Atwater push Anthony Miller at the end. That he's a little bit frustrated. But I got to tell you something, Steve. It's one thing to go after Papuno, 6'2.5", 250. Another thing to go after Anthony Miller, 5'11", 180.
And John Carney will be kicking again. John Kidd, who normally kicks for San Diego, has a lower back problem. And Milburn is the return man. High snap. And it is short.
Oh, that's the worst of his kicks.
Yeah. And Gary Plummer is right there on top of it and watches it go out of bounds.
That's only 30 yards. It's going to mess with his average.
Last year, San Diego, of course, with a 5th place schedule. And everybody said that was the reason he had such a nice season. Gary Plummer, when I talked with him, said, when I asked him about this is a 1st place schedule, and he said, that's good. That's what we need, because with a 1st place schedule, that prepares you for the playoffs. So when we got to the playoffs last year, we simply were not prepared to take it up another notch.
Very good. Take a look at this. Look at these next games. Houston, obviously tough game, an open date. And then at Seattle and at Pittsburgh. I believe on their schedule, Charlie, they have 8 playoff teams from 92. Much more difficult than it was the year before.
Denver now from their own 45. Broncos in control of the ball game. Swing to Rod Bernstein. He's going to pick up about 3. 2:39 and counting. Time remaining in the second quarter. The Broncos are out in front. 2 touchdowns and a 20-yard field goal. That makes it 70-0 over San Diego. And the Broncos have completely dominated the second quarter.
And now it's interesting. They want to take some time off the clock, so now they don't go to the no huddle. What surprises me a little bit about the defense for the Chargers is that they knew that they had this. Everybody knew they had the no huddle. They acted like they'd never seen it before there in the middle of the second quarter. It's amazing.
But when Denver went to the no huddle in the second quarter, changed the tempo completely of the ball game. Elway to throw. Over the middle, it is low, and it is incomplete. Bernstein, the intended receiver. That stops the clock, but it is right at the 2-minute mark. So the 2-minute warning will be given to both benches. We'll step aside. We'll be back to Mile High Stadium in a moment. During the timeout, we called the Chargers to see if there's anything wrong with him, because he's simply, he's not moving and he's not as animated. I guess that's as good a word as any.
It looks like he's tired.
Yeah.
Howie Long is the one that made the phrase famous, who said that here's a guy that operates, his RPMs are on red line. But it hasn't been that way today at all for number 55.
And this last time out, he looked to the bench and just like,
Nice
and
job.
he is chasing Glenn Milburn, and he catches him.
Good for him. Just when I said that, Junior Seau does a nice job of covering Glenn Milburn. Take a look. Here's 55. Now watch number 22 come in, throw a couple of moves, cut to the outside. Okay, that's fine. You catch the ball, but no way you're getting the first down. Down he goes. All right, Junior.
And Donald Frank had a piece of the play.
But no racing. Okay, now he's yelling a little bit. Now he's okay. All right, that's the Junior we know. Why isn't San Diego using a timeout here?
4th down and 3. They have 1 left. I'm not sure why.
Sports Illustrated said that this might be the best linebacker in football right now.
And I agree with
you. You agree?
I agree.
Well, that's just because he gave you a hat from his clothing line.
From his clothing line.
Well, he gave me one too.
He gave you one too.
I still maintain, and you and I have discussed this before, I still think that he would be an unbelievable force on the outside, a la LT.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Delay of game against the Broncos. Of course, they were just running the clock down. Now, 1:13. That is the time remaining in the first half.
They need Darian Gordon to give them some kind of return here.
He needs a Glenn Milburn type return. Give him a little bit of a spark. Oh, good kick. Going for the corner. Oh, and he's got it. He has got it. And the official just kind of walks up at inexact science, but he marks it at the 5-yard line. And so San Diego 95 yards away from the end zone. A 48-yard kick. We'll be back. Come back, San Diego from their own 5-yard line. Humphrey throws far side and almost intercepted.
You know what? I don't understand this. I realize they're down 17-0. I realize they want to get something started. But the chances of them driving with a minute left and 1 timeout to drive some 60 yards to get in the field goal range are remote. And he's lucky he gets this one back.
Tyrone Braxton almost with the interception. Probably looks at more film or more tape than any defensive back for the Broncos. Every night he sets aside at home from 9 to 10 o'clock. And you don't bother him. He doesn't talk to anybody, family, phone calls, anything. And he just looks and looks and looks at the tape. And this will be a sack, a loss of a yard.
Now see, this
Second time he's been sacked.
This also affords Denver the chance to use their timeouts and give them another chance to score. I don't know what's happening here with San Diego. Run the clock out. Okay, we're down 17 points. Let's make up for it in the second half. Now they run the risk here on 3rd down. They'll run a play. Denver might use their other timeout and give themselves a chance to score.
And Denver has 2 timeouts remaining. Stay with us at halftime. The Domino Pizza NFL Live halftime report. That is Jim Lampley on the left. And if you were with us last week, you might not recognize Mike Ditka, but there he is, back in a coat and tie.
Oh, wait, the tie, though.
And they will have, nice tie. I like the tie.
There,
I like the tie. And they'll have all the scores, the highlights from around the National Football League. That is all coming up at halftime.
In fact, I think the tie, isn't that the one that Drozdov threw up on?
That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. I can't believe
I couldn't resist.
I know. Yes.
For those of the uninitiated that we mentioned earlier in the game, Darren Drozdov, the rookie free agent nose tackle for the Denver Broncos, has a very nervous stomach and makes it a point to throw up before every game. But I didn't know that he had a chance to. Ditka's haberdashery was around.
This is Ronnie Harmon. Harmon slips a couple of tackles. It is going to be close to the first down. He needs to get to the 15-yard line. And if he has the first down, that will pretty well... Yes, he does have the first down. Fourth reception in the ball game for Ronnie Harmon. 32 seconds and counting. And now they can be content just to run out the clock.
No, they're not going to do that. They're going to throw.
And he goes deep to Anthony Miller, and it is incomplete. Maybe figuring, you go deep, you might get a pass interference call or a long reception, and, then another quick play, and you can kick a field goal.
Well, again, you have the jump ball situation, but Charles Dimry is the tallest of the cornerbacks. He's 6'2", and so the jump ball idea with Miller is not going to work with him. Dimry, very athletic, not batting it away.
And remember, this ball game was scoreless at the end of the first quarter, and the Denver Broncos, in the opening moments of the second period, going to the no-huddle, speeded up their offense, changed the tempo, and took command, both offensively and defensively. And this is way high.
It looks discombobulated. I mean, I don't understand this. Again, 17-0. I realize there's a deficit, but you're taking chances here at your own end. And even if, say, for instance, they do complete a pass in the middle of the field, say at the 40 or 50-yard line, there's only 15 seconds left, and more than likely it's not going to happen. There's more of a chance here that he can make another bad pass like that last one and get it picked off. I don't understand this strategy at all.
Third down and 10. The Chargers from their own 15-yard line with 15 seconds left to go here in the first half. And now, here is Harmon on the ground. And he is going to lean and may pick up the first down.
So what?
He does have the first down. And that officially is the end of the first half. And the score at halftime, the Denver Broncos 17, the San Diego Chargers nothing. The Domino Pizza NFL Live halftime report is next after these messages from your local station.
Is the hurry up. Take a look at the 5 minutes that you have in time of possession. The Chargers have over the Broncos means absolutely nothing when you're down 17 points.
And also the numbers, and we talked about this at the end of the first quarter, that the San Diego Chargers had all the numbers. What was it? 96 yards in total offense to 20-plus yards over Denver in the first quarter, and yet they were unable to get in the end zone. And now San Diego has played 6 quarters of the season. They are yet to score a touchdown this year.
And one of the things, that's why they talk about things like the red zone or the green zone. It's all well and good to move between the 30s and the 40s, but what counts is getting it in the end zone.
National Football League. Glenn Milburn is back along with Derek Russell, and John Carney will be kicking off. And Russell will watch it go through the end zone. We'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Carney's getting a chance to exercise his leg today, isn't he?
Yes, he has.
What, 3 punts, and now, boy, he hammered that one 10 yards deep.
So John Elway comes out. In the first half, Glenn Milburn, the other part of the Stanford connection that we talked about, had a total of 72 yards of total offense, 25 yards receiving, 15 yards rushing, and 32 yards in punt returns as you look at the number of John Elway.
Very impressive. Similar to last week in the first half, came right out throwing very effectively. And, of course, the mistake that they made against the Jets that got them back into the game is that they decided that they were going to run the football and take some time off the clock based on this 4-wide receiver set with Milburn in. That's not what they're doing.
And Milburn, a little swing to the left side. The pass goes downfield, and they're going to rule the play dead. There's
the animation we were talking about. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's either incomplete or it's a fumble, he's saying. Oh, what a hit Junior Seau put on. And that's exactly what Junior needed, and quite frankly, that's what the Chargers need. This is a young team, one of the younger teams in the National Football League, and they play on an emotion. Take a look at the hit that he puts right there. He goes down. It was a good call. But the ball comes up.
It's the old ground does not cause a fumble.
Ground does not cause a fumble. Yes. Nonetheless, for the sake of Junior and the rest of the defense, at least it got them fired up a little bit.
And Derek Russell picks up 7 on the play. It is second down and 3. And the Broncos open the second half with a no-huddle. Elway now with pressure. Now he dumps it, and Milburn cannot hold on. Almost had it. He and Junior Seau were there together, and he was kind of falling away and grabbing it and couldn't pull it in.
I got to tell you, Charlie, I admit that I was one of the people that thought that Junior Seau probably couldn't handle Milburn man for man, but look what he's doing. Not only is he on top of him, he just barely misses the interception here. Look at that. If he can get a little more peace, but you can see him pounding the ground. He's ready to play the second half.
Yeah.
Someone must have mentioned something to him about what he said.
And this is what you expect from Junior. Downfield pass is complete. And it is Derek Russell. Stanley Richard with the tackle. And so the Denver Broncos now going to their wide receivers. Only twice in last week's ball game did Elway go to his wide receiver. Now he's gone to Derek Russell, and he's gone to Arthur Marshall.
San Diego came with a corner blitz with Van Horst. Left Richard man-for-man coverage with the wide receiver, and Elway took advantage of it.
And 2 flags are down, and this will be against Denver. And the pass downfield is tipped. It's intercepted. San Diego has the ball. Marquez Pope. And if the flags, as expected, go against the Broncos, and usually it is offensive holding. The play still stands, and the Chargers have a first break of the ball game.
Exactly what we talked about, Charlie, coming out. You asked me at halftime, can they do it? And you know, we were talking about how they needed a big play initially for that to happen. That's why you follow through.
Holding,
the flags are down.
75 offense prior to the pass. The penalties declined. First down, San Diego.
A lot of times when you see the flags go down, you say to yourself, okay, well, we've got a free player. Let's not worry about it. The flags are down. It's holding. Everybody knows about it. They bounce up here. Donald Frank bats it around. He's the one that keeps it alive, so Marquez Pope can come over and make the interception. That's a big turnover for the Chargers, and now they have to see if they can capitalize on that.
So San Diego down by a score of 17-0. Their first opportunity on offense here in the second half. And they will start from the Denver 48. A little play action, and now trying to cash it in all at once. And it is Nate Lewis, and he cannot get there.
It's one. I got to tell you, it's one thing to talk about how the shape his arm is in. Clearly, it's in shape. But as far as the touch is concerned, it just isn't. I mean, that's twice now that he's had Nate Lewis. Of course, the other time he's a little more wide open, but this time he just, he overthrew him by a good 6 yards.
So it will be second down and 10, back at the 48 of Denver. 12 of 25, just under 50%. And here's Ronnie Harmon.
Oh, man, that's nice. Gee, I'd like to watch that. Somebody light on his feet like that. You know, Ronnie Harmon doesn't run low to the ground like a lot of runners, but he's light. He was somebody that, he reminds me of somebody who gets an A in Arthur Murray's class. Take a look at the toes. Look at this. Bobs and weaves, picks his spot, jukes, spins, the 360 there. Dennis Smith makes the tackle, but not before he gets that extra 2 yards. And that's one thing they wanted to do. They wanted to get him the ball a lot more this season than they did last.
Third down and 1. And this is Natron Means, the rookie from North Carolina. And Dennis Smith is there to stop him.
Hit was put on Natron Means, but I got to tell you something. That's very impressive for a rookie. Here it is. The third quarter has yet to touch the ball. They put him in a crucial situation like this 3rd and 1. Take a look at the shot to the left of your screen. Look at the shot that Means takes. Look at Smith. Has a full run at him, hammers him. But look, Means keeps his feet, moves through about 2 or 3 tacklers, and it appears from our vantage point, although I don't know if I want to hazard a guess, it looks like he got it.
And the chains are out for the measurement. And you're right, it is a first down.
You know how hard that is, Charlie, to sit and be cold for that long? Make the analogy to you as a baseball person. It's like that pinch hitting in the 7th, 8th inning.
Oh, it's hard to do.
That's a hard thing to do.
Come in and, and he puts him in a position. We expect you to pick up the first down. You're there to do it.
Exactly right. That's a big play.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Here come the Broncos.
That's an awful cut. That's a terrible cut by Marion Butts. The play is designed to go inside the tackle. He cuts to the outside, and he has no help. It looks like the tackle didn't make his block, but in reality, take a look at where the play is designed to go. It's supposed to go off tackle. Now he cuts off tackle right there, but instead he cuts the outside. There's nobody there. And the support by the Broncos is there. Dennis Smith, arguably one of the best support safeties in the National Football League, and that's what Sylvester Croom is telling him right there. Marion, you got to cut it up inside.
It's second down and 12, and Ronnie Harmon comes in. And we've got a flag. This is against Denver. Free play for San Diego. Pass to Lewis is complete. And he goes out at the 25, and that is his 6th reception. Charles Dimry was there for Denver. And the Chargers should refuse it and take the play in the first down.
I must confess here, I'm one of those people that has been critical over San Diego's inability to get somebody next to Anthony Miller, but I'm very impressed with Nate Lewis today.
99 defense, offside, the penalties declined, first down.
That's Shane Dronette.
And the ball at the 25-yard line. So a gain of 14 on the play in the first down.
Butts now comes back in the game. You know, I think it's imperative a little bit for San Diego to establish some runs. I mean, yes, they're down 17-0, but there's 26 minutes left of 26 minutes of football left.
It's also imperative they get in the end zone, that they score a touchdown. I don't think they can settle for a field goal here. And here is Butt. And he's going to go to the 22. He'll pick up about 3 on the play. It'll be second down and long.
Need to give a lot of credit to the Denver defense. Of course, you know, Michael Brooks left in free agency to go to the New York Giants. He was their leading tackler, over 150, inside backer. Now, as we mentioned, took the money and ran to the Big Apple. And, of course, we mentioned that Cragen not playing. But
he's out with a torn muscle in the arch of his right foot, and the nose tackle. And you thought he would be missed, but he hasn't been so far.
And I think everybody anticipated the Chargers were going to hammer away at the middle and be successful. That has not happened. But
Drozdown and the big guy, Alphonso Taylor, done a pretty good job in this. Play action fake. Humphries is in trouble, and caught from behind. And that is Shane Dronette. Third sack for the Broncos. And Dronette had the first pass at him. And Stan got away from him, and then he caught him from behind.
This is one of those cases of at first you don't succeed. Misdirection, and Dronette is not fooled. He's got a bead right here to the right of your screen. We get fooled a little bit here, but 99 misses him. Then Taylor misses him. Dronette comes back from the backside, able to get the sack. Look at him look up right there. You know what he's looking at? He's looking at the down marker to see. Now look, if it's negative yardage, I get a sack.
I get a sack. Third down and 10. Touchdown.
Lone coverage.
Derek Walker, the H-back.
And you can see Dennis Smith is absolutely livid with Daryl Hall, who just completely let him go. Daryl Hall had him in man-for-man coverage and just let him go at the 10-yard line. Watch number 40 to the right of your screen. Number 40 is going to have man-for-man coverage. Now watch. Right here, he lets him go and starts to look into the backfield. He just lets him go to the middle of the field. There's nobody there. Dennis Smith goes over. Look at him looking at Daryl Hall. He is angry. That gets San Diego right back in the game.
And that was third down and long. And now John Carney, who is doing all of the kicking this afternoon, to attempt the extra point. First touchdown of the season for the Chargers. And it is good. And so the Chargers back in the ballgame now with 10:07 left to go. We're in the third quarter. 17-7. Just over 10 minutes left to go in the third, and John Carney is kicking off. And here is Derek Russell a couple of yards deep. He slips, but he's going to come out with it. He's to the 5, the 10. The pitch is not that good a decision.
Bad decision.
Bad decision.
Bad decision for a lot of reasons, not just in the end zone, but you can't catch the ball going backwards. You just can't do it.
And that was right down the third baseline in the baseball configuration, and he slipped.
Third and long in the middle of the field. Number 40 once again. They split the safeties. The safeties are backpedaling into the end zone because they're thinking 3rd and 15, but you've got to have the coverage underneath. Look at the reaction of Dennis Smith. He just can't believe it. He can't believe it. Daryl Hall was victimized last week by Johnny Johnson, the running back, and there was a lot of criticism leveled at him by Wade Phillips as to his inability to get the backs underneath, and he's struggling again this week.
48 yards on the drive in 8 plays, and don't forget that Marquez Pope set it up with his interception. And now Denver from their 11, and we have a whistle and a flag. And this is for the San Diego Chargers to really get back in the ballgame. This is where their defense has to step up and make the plays.
False start prior to the snap, 89 offense. 5 yards, repeat first down.
So the tight end, Reggie Johnson, is going to be 1st and 15.
And again, here's the curious thing, Charlie. The Broncos, as we saw in the graphic earlier, Elway was 13 or 18 or 15 for 20 or whatever he was, throwing the ball effectively. Now they're at their own end of the field. The one thing they don't do terribly effectively is run the ball, and that's what they're trying to do. And the momentum clearly has shifted.
And here's Rod Bernstein. He jumps to the outside, slips a tackle by Leslie O'Neal, and is across the 10 and out to about the 11-yard line. So he's going to get 5 of it back. Gerald Williams makes the tackle. And we can check out the 10-minute ticker as we get set to go now. Denver going back to the huddle here, taking all the time that they want.
Well, again, they don't want to make a mistake here. They're up by 10, but it seems like it's an inevitability in football that you get ahead, you've got everything going your way, and you get complacent. The other team gets back in the game. It's one of the beauties of the NFL.
Second down and 10. No way to throw over the middle. Has his man. It is there. Reggie Johnson.
Fumble.
At San Diego has the ball.
And that's Darren Gordon that picked it up. Marquez Pope is the guy behind. He's been beat a lot today, but he's come up with 2 huge plays. Last week, Reggie Johnson had 4 catches. He's really making a contribution to the passing game. Darren Gordon, first-round pick, in on the nickel coverage, comes up with a loose ball.
San Diego has the ball. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back in just a moment. We are back at Mile High Stadium. San Diego just making their second break of the game. We'll show it to you. Here's the replay.
Reggie Johnson not too happy, makes the catch, but watch the left hand of Marquez Pope from the back. Strip the ball. Great play by Pope to keep it loose. Gordon comes over and picks it up. Huge turnover for the Chargers.
First down at the Denver 35. Ronnie Harmon. And Dennis Smith was there.
Chargers
was also there, number 51.
The Chargers really have to start thinking about, maybe it's too late in the game for this, but some play action passes. Dennis Smith seems to have been in their backfield constantly. And that's a big loss right there if that's serious, because Eric Moten is replacing their starting left tackle in Harry Swain.
And when we talked to Eric yesterday, he said one of the nice things about moving to tackle, he'll have both tackle and guard on his resume, but he said, I line up next to the tight end, Dwayne Young. We came in together and we played college ball together at Michigan State, so that's kind of fun.
Now they go with their backup from the right side. Eric Jonathan now will be in at left tackle.
Jonathan played a lot in preseason, but he played on the right side. Brock didn't play that much. They figured with the veteran, but Jonathan has not played that much on the left side.
And that's not, and if you're a right-handed quarterback, that is your blind side, and it's not, it can be a little disconcerting to find out that the guy that's in there now is the third stringer. But then again, the guy for Denver is too.
Ronnie Harmon is in motion. And the pass is deep and overthrown. And Nate Lewis, the intended receiver, once again had a step on the defender. But you're right. The strength is there for Stan Humphries, but the touch has not come back yet.
Let me tell you something from a personal experience. A lot of times when you see this, you debate whether to dive or whether to run through it. This ball is just a little bit long, and Nate Lewis says, I'm not going to dive, I'm going to run through it. Oh! If he lays out right there, if he lays out instead of runs, the ball hits him in the hands, and he might be able to come up with it. Very frustrating for Humphries to lay that ball in there and have it be so close to a touchdown.
And all of a sudden, it's third down and 10 at the 35.
Great call.
Screen to Ronnie Harmon. Harmon waits for a block. Has one, has another, leans, and he's going to pick up the first down.
Outstanding call. Let me tell you why. They have not run that play the entire day. And the reason I like it is because even if they don't get the first down, they're able to get enough for field goal range. Ronnie Harmon stands there like he's not going to do anything, fades off to the left. Good job of acting, good job of downfield running. Courtney Hall, the center. Look at him come down, absolutely hammer Lilo Lang, enabling Harmon to get the first down.
And we believe that Lilo Lang is the injured player. We've got a timeout. We'll step aside. We'll be back in a moment. Lilo Lang is on his feet. He got hooked by Courtney Hall. He got his arm caught in his face mask and jerked his head around. First down, 24-yard line. Broncos lead by 10. Play action. Humphries goes deep. Has a man as Lewis. And he goes in. No. They're going to mark it. No, yes. They do. They say yes, he has a touchdown.
Absolutely right. Great effort, and what a game he is having. What a game, and what a throw by Humphries underneath. That's what's called the short corner. And Wade Phillips doesn't like the reaction of that at all, and Bobby Ross is fired up now telling his defense, come on, follow suit. 2 quick touchdowns right back in this game. Take a look at Anthony Miller on the left side. He's going to clear things out. Look at the inside move by Lewis coming underneath. Humphries threw it well before he looked. Tremendous throw. And look at the right foot right there. Gets it just inside the pylon. Great effort by Lewis for the touchdown.
7th reception for a man who was not supposed to play today, and his yardage, it matches his number, 81. And now the extra point to pull the Chargers within 3.
Maybe he should always play hurt. You remember Mel Phillips, who played defensive back for the 49ers, used to always wear that cast?
Yes.
And he played so well that when his hand was healed up, he kept the cast on.
Meanwhile, the extra point is good, and the score, Denver 17, San Diego 14. And we're going to stay here for a moment.
What great rhythm on the part of Stan Humphries getting the ball out there. Look at the time here. This is a difficult throw. This is a short corner. He's got to throw this about 40 yards on the line. Look at this to the outside without breaking stride. Lovely throw by Humphries. And at the end, a little bit of a debate as to whether or not he get in. No debate at all. Take a look at the right foot. Right inside the pylon. Good call by the official. Right on top of it. Stan Humphries a little bit frustrated because he had some sure touchdown passes dropped earlier. Not now. Yes, we'll take it. You know, that was an interesting point. Last week they had so many drops. He said, I can't affect their confidence. He says, I can't get on them.
In the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds, San Diego has scored 2 touchdowns. And don't forget, both touchdowns were set up by the defense.
That's right, turnover.
The interception and the fumble recovery.
Both involving Marquez Pope,
yes.
An interception and a strip. Of course, earlier, remember that earlier in the first half, the Denver Broncos scored 2 touchdowns in 51 seconds. So it's definitely a streaky game.
It is streaky today, isn't it? 7:48 left to go. We're in the third quarter. Lots of time. Derek Russell, number 85. This is Glenn Milburn, number 22. They are back for the kickoff return. And Russell, this time, he's going to stay away from, or at least count it in the end zone. And they'll take it out to the 20-yard line. Do you remember the Ryder Cup when we were at Kiowa a couple of years ago and the fantastic victory for the United States? Well, they do it again. September the 25th and the 26th. It is the Ryder Cup, and of course, we're going to have a preview show for you. And that will be next Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. That will all be hosted by Jim Lampley. And the ball game here is hosted by Charlie Jones and Todd Christensen. Glad that you could join us. All of a sudden, the Chargers have made it a very interesting second half. Now from the 20, Elway fires. Pass is complete. He goes to Arthur Marshall. And he is gathered in, you might say, by Donald Frank.
Well, the official...
He got a chokehold on him.
I was going to say, the official's giving him a gift there. Yeah. Marshall's the one that stepped back. That should only be about a 3-yard gain, but they're going to give him 5. Good open field tackle by Frank.
Buffalo still out in front of Dallas by a score of 10-3. That game in the third quarter, as is this game in the third quarter.
The numbers for Elway. Now here brings up an interesting point. San Diego at this point, remember how they couldn't do anything with the no huddle? Why doesn't Denver go back to it now and get their momentum back?
Here's Rod Bernstein against his former teammates, and he takes the Chargers with him. And is going to pick up the first down. Meanwhile, John Elway is just tying his shoelaces. Back at the 17-yard line. He hands off. Tie my shoelaces. I get all ready. Okay.
Well, as we documented earlier with regards to Rod Bernstein, justifying that $1.6 million he's going to make this year, you know, they really did take a chance in getting him. But then again, Bob Ferguson has been taking a lot of chances, and a lot of them have been coming up aces. He's starting to look like Midas, in so much that a lot of the guys he's brought in, Habib, an immediate contributor, Zimmerman, of course, has done an outstanding job, and Don Maggs, they fear, will do likewise when he gets back.
Play action fake pass is complete, and here's Junior.
That's Junior's way of saying, hey, Rod, what's up? What's up, Rod? We used to be at training camp together. He poked a little fun at Bernstein when training camp was over by saying, oh, did Rod make it through healthy okay? Oh, yeah, took a little shot there. This one was a more literal shot here as he wrestles Bernstein to the ground.
And the defense of the Chargers, much more active in the second half than they were, particularly in the second quarter.
And there's nothing like a big play to get you going either. The interception by Pope has really changed things around for them.
2nd and 7. Denver at their own 35. Bernstein is the remaining back. Elway scrambles. Now he's really dangerous. And he throws this one away.
He knows the rule.
He really throws it away.
He knows the rule. He knows the rule.
Yeah. Leslie O'Neal was just a step away.
But that had to have been a good 5-6 seconds there that he had to throw the ball. They're doing an outstanding job of protecting him. In fact, the only time, as I recall, you remember Grossman knocked him down, but that too was after 5 seconds in the pocket.
3rd down and 7 at the 35. Just under 5.5 left to go. Elway officially has not been sacked today. He did have the pressure that you were talking about.
And the San Diego Chargers, Charlie, last year leading the AFC in sacks, so that's quite a job by that offensive line.
And Marquez Pope played the first one, but the pass is complete to Vance Johnson, who just returned one of the favorites here, his first reception. And the crowd knows it, and he knows it. He knows it.
The reason Vance Johnson is back is because of his experience. The other three wideouts have not played long, and Vance Johnson, of course, catch after catch has made some big plays for John Elway. And when I talked to John yesterday, I said, are you happy to have Vance back? And it was almost as if I'd asked a stupid question, which I've done once or twice.
And here's Bernstein on a sweep, and he is cut down.
You want to know why Vance Johnson is back with the team? He's had some problems in his department, but regardless of that, the numbers stand out. Those are the three starting wide receivers prior to Vance Johnson coming aboard, and you can see a big difference
Career
here.
numbers. And we're talking career numbers.
These are career numbers, yeah, not just seasonal numbers for these other ball players. And so Vance Johnson certainly lends credibility to that new group.
Second down and 13. Denver leads by 3, 17-14. Elway drops it over the middle. The pass is complete to Delpino, and he is going to be marked down at the 49-yard line. He's going to be about 6 yards shy of the first down.
Junior Seau again in on the tackle, but he was lucky that time. Little bit of he was looking the wrong direction. Now he cuts back and sees Delpino has the ball. Delpino with a little bit of a stiff arm, almost able to get away for the first down, but Seau brings him down with the shoestring, and now it's 3rd and 6.
And as you can see by the shadows, the sun shining very brightly here in Denver this afternoon. And that is Shannon Sharp in motion to the left. Elway coming underneath the coverage again. Pass is complete to Arthur Marshall, and it is a first down. Sean Van Horst with the tackle, and so the Chargers have had their opportunity to stop the Broncos, but every time Elway has made the play.
A name we haven't called, All-Pro Leslie O'Neal. This is why. Look at this, just stuffed at the line of scrimmage by Jeff Zimmerman. Once again, Elway with 5 seconds to throw, able to look down the field. If you're going to give Elway that much time, you just can't be successful.
First down, San Diego's 39-yard line. And Delpino carries for a couple of yards.
You know, he's been forgotten a little bit in all the talk regarding Rod Bernstein. Very quality back for the Los Angeles Rams. A guy that could catch a ball for you, get you 20 carries a game from time to time. Very versatile back, somebody that they felt like could make a major contribution in, once again, I hate to say this, but the San Francisco-style offense because of his versatility.
Let's say West Coast
Okay,
style.
West Coast.
Yeah. We'll run it up and down the West Coast. All the way out to Canada. Second and 8. Elway has pressure, and Leslie gets it.
All right.
That is his first sack, and the first time that Elway has been sacked.
I say all right just because of the fact that over the last couple of quarters, mentioning how well Zimmerman has done on O'Neal this time. Little outside move. Look at the inside. What a swim move. That's the quickness of Leslie O'Neal, 265 pounds. Of course, it's well documented. He had major reconstructive surgery after his rookie season, missed a season and a half. People questioned whether or not he was
Would ever come back.
able to come back, and now after 3 straight Pro Bowl appearances, not too many people asking questions.
No, not that question anymore. Third down and 18.
Big play, too, for the San Diego defense because that really affected the momentum of the offense for the Chargers as they were heading.
And here comes O'Neal again, and Elway steps away, throws down, catches man, it's there. They're going to mark it down. They're going to mark it down about a foot away. Vance Johnson. 3rd and 18.
When talking with Darian Gordon yesterday, he said, this is what we have to do. We have to stay on these guys longer because of what Elway can do. Look at this. It's a good 4.5, 5 seconds, and Elway with his great arm is on the left side of the field, throws across his body. Difficult for the defensive backs to stay in coverage that long, but that's what's required when you have the great arm and the mobility of John Elway. Vance Johnson gets credit for the 52-yard reception, but it's Elway's feet and that gun for an arm that made that play possible.
And here is Bernstein for the touchdown. what a drive. Time after time, the Chargers defense had their opportunities, and Elway took it away, and we've got flags.
Look at Bernstein going off with the football. First touchdown of the Broncos.
Penalty, 12 men on the defense. The penalty is declined. Touchdown.
And even with 12 men, they couldn't stop him.
Well, that actually should have been Vance Johnson's touchdown. He laid over the end line. They showed the replay here, and the fans groan, but Bernstein's the one walking off with the ball. So sometimes life isn't fair.
So Bernstein has the touchdown from a foot out. And now the extra point. And it is good. And the margin is back to 10. Broncos 24, Chargers 14. All right, we will come back. We had a bit of a false start on the kickoff here, as we thought players thought they were ready to go, and then they found out that they weren't ready to go.
Doggone it, Jason Elam. Don't you know television, babe? Come on. What's wrong with you? You must be a rookie. Oh,
he is ready. He is ready.
Okay, here's the question.
Yes.
Why does a kicker need wristbands?
Hey, it's part of the whole mystique. Why do announcers wear wristbands? Oh, sorry.
Oh. I mean, come on.
Well, he may have to make a tackle.
Yeah, he's kind of stabbing. You know what? I wanted to ask you this. Dusty Baker wears wristbands. And he's a manager. What's he doing wearing a wristband?
Because it's cold at Candlestick Park. That's why. I can tell you that.
But that's to catch the sweat.
And Edom sails this one deep through the end zone. San Diego will start from the 20. Let's go back to the catch and the touchdown.
The nimble feet of number 7 are what make this play. Watch to the right of your screen. Leslie O'Neal gets another tremendous rush on Zimmerman, beats him to the outside, has him in his sights right there, but Elway able to move to the left and do what he does better than any quarterback in the National Football League. Throw across his body, across the field. Vance Johnson, you see there, fouls over. It should have been his touchdown, but Bernstein happy to get the largesse for his first touchdown as a Bronco.
As you check the 10-minute ticker, and what you're talking about in this young man is he was going to his left, stops, comes back the other way. So that's all arm and wrist, because the body is not involved in that kind of a throw. He really has a great arm. And here is Humphries, has pressure, steps away, and he's throwing this one away, and it may be intercepted. Derek Walker was in the neighborhood. Either he made the cut inside as he changed the read on the defense, or he slipped.
Yeah, Walker slipped and fell. Dennis Smith, you see him nodding his head, but it was one of those situations where he was too busy being in coverage to backpedal and make the catch.
And it'll be second down and 10. Denver 24, San Diego 14. 44 seconds, time remaining, third quarter. And remember, Denver led 17-0 at the half, completely dominating the second period. And then San Diego, with a couple of big defensive plays, now back in the ballgame, dropped over the middle. Here's Ronnie Harmon, nice reverse, good move. And he's going to have the first down. Stiff arm.
What a stiff arm.
What a great stiff arm.
I guarantee that's one that Tyrone Braxton is not going to want to see in the films. He's going to take all sorts of abuse from his defensive mates. And what I don't understand is, how is Ronnie Harmon running underneath so freely? Look at that, number 33. Little move, boink. Goodbye, Jeff Mills. Now he cuts to the outside. Take a look at that hard left arm that Braxton takes. Ow! Down he goes.
He put him down.
John Dunn, the conditioning coach for the San Diego Chargers, told me, and he has been around some 14, 15 years, worked with the Redskins and the Raiders, now the Chargers. He said that Ronnie Harmon is in the top 3 of people being in shape, both running and lifting, of people that he'd been around in the league. It's pretty impressive.
Pass far side, and it is Nate Lewis again, who had to spin in and out, and he makes the reception. What an afternoon he is having. That is his 8th reception.
Charlie, one of the reasons for this is the zone continues to roll to Miller's side. You know, they want to double team Anthony Miller. They want to take him away. And in effect, they say, we'll see if Nate Lewis can beat us man for man. And certainly at this point, you'd have to say he's done that.
And we'll see if he can continue doing it in the fourth quarter. We'll be back with the final period in just a moment. This is Charlie Jones, Todd Christensen, fourth quarter, second down and 1. And Ronnie Harmon is going to pick up the first down.
The way he's playing today, and I know that his body isn't designed for that, and that's what they'll tell us because we have 3 other backs, et cetera, et cetera. But you know, the more he plays and the more you get the ball in his hands, the more good things happen. Now, if this guy is as in good a shape as John Dunn is talking about, hey, man, get him the ball. Let him carry the ball 20 times a game. Throw it to him 5, 6 times.
And
See what he can
do. Quarters, we'll hold that for you. Natron Means now has come in. There's the scoring. When we talked with Natron, you asked him what has been the best and the worst. He said the best is the money. It'll play action to me. And the pass is low and incomplete. And the worst, the fines. $10 a minute. Since that adds up. Let's go to New York.
Hey, Charlie, can Boomer Esiason still play or what? Red hot since the second half last week. Here is the third quarter flea flicker. The pitch back from Blair Thomas. Esiason 46 yards downfield to Terrence Mathis. They couldn't go in for the TD, but the 39-yard field goal gave the Jets a 17-14 lead, which they have now nursed into the fourth quarter against Miami. Back to Charlie and Todd.
And remember, like Denver, he was so effective in the second half when the Jets went to the hurry-up offense. This pass is complete to Anthony Miller, and he is going to be close to the first down. Let's see where they mark it. He should have it.
Haven't called his name too often, but getting back to Boomer Esiason, hey, you were right about him in the second half. The man threw for 370 yards. We knew he could still play. Zone roll up right there. Fletcher out in the flat trying to get Anthony Miller, but there's just no way he's going to stay with him. He found his way between the seams of Fletcher and Dimry for the first.
Third reception of the ball game for Anthony. The ball at the Denver 40-yard line. We're moving on the 14-minute mark, time remaining in the game. And the Chargers are down by 10. And here is Natron Means. And he will go to the 36-yard line.
Impressive thing about Natron Means, among other things, is what justified the second-round pick is at 5'10", and at the time in college, 248 pounds. They are impressed with his feet, how quick he was, because normally backs like this are strictly straight-ahead guys. But Natron knows how to pick the hole. Take a look as he puts his left hand on the butt of Moton, follows him into the hole, gets his 4 or 5 yards. Good piece of running.
And we checked out the pronunciation of his first name. There's several different ways, and we asked him how his mother pronounced it. She said Natron. We said, that's it. Pump fake wants to go deep. The coverage is there for Denver. Excellent coverage in the secondary, and Humphries goes out. Everybody was covered. And Stan had a lot of time.
Excellent coverage in the secondary, as you mentioned, and a great job coming back by some of the linemen as they felt Humphries roll out of the pocket. Both Dwayne Young and Courtney Hall did a nice job peeling back to get people who might have sacked Humphries, and now they're coming up short with a 3rd and 1.
And that means that Steve Hendrickson will come in, number 34, and he will be the lead blocker, and the ball carrier will run behind him.
Once again, Means is the guy. We saw him earlier.
And Steve comes in motion. What is this? Play action fake. Has a man open deep for a moment. Doesn't throw to him. Comes back over the middle. It is incomplete to Deems May, the tight end.
I don't like that play, and let me tell you why. Now you have a situation where more than likely they're going to go for it, because a 48-yard field goal, even here in Mile High, is a 50% proposition at best. I'm thinking that maybe Bobby Ross felt like this was 4-down territory and say, hey, let's go for it on 3rd down, see if we can get a big play, and if we can't, we've got the big bodies up front. We can get across the 30-yard line.
And Hendrickson again as the lead blocker. Behind him, and he has the first down.
What I just said about his feet, Charlie, that play was designed to go off tackle. Means does an outstanding job of cutting back to the middle. That's where the hole opened up. Take a look in the middle. He's supposed to go left. Everybody over pursues. Take a look at him cutting back behind the block of Hendrickson. Great job of running. Heads up by the rookie Means.
And also an excellent block once again by Hendrickson as the lead blocker.
Well, the guy plays 8 different positions. What can he do?
He does it all. And it's a first down at the 25. Here's Fletcher in the sack. Fletcher. Simon Fletcher. Ooh, somebody missed an assignment.
Simon Fletcher just tied the club record for sacks in a season. The man that missed the assignment was Marion Butts. Butts hasn't played at all here in the 4th quarter. He just came back. There it is. You see the graphic, and that's why the crowd is cheering. Think of all the great players there. That's pretty impressive, and he's going to get the ball. A lot of great pass rushers here. You think of Tommy Jackson. You think of Rulon Jones. You think of Rich Tombstone Jackson. A lot of great players. And here's the man who really, Charlie, is underappreciated. 13.5 sacks last year and didn't go to the Pro Bowl.
Second down and 21.
That was a big mistake on the part of Marion Butts. He had the block on Fletcher, and he just let him come in completely untouched.
And here's Ronnie Harmon, the motion man. This was dropped off, and here's Butts on the left side.
Whoa.
Marion just keeps kicking. He tries to make up for his mistake, and he does a pretty good job. He was hit 8 yards from where he was finally stopped.
This is one thing that San Diego's been doing. It's interesting because outside of the very first series in the game, we haven't seen him catch the ball. Now the play is designed to go to the right. He looks to the right. Butts just comes off. Watch Butts get lost to the right of your screen. Humphreys is looking to the other side. Now he flips it, dump. Now watch the power of Marion Butts. Atwater, tough tackler, and so is Hall, but he just runs over the top of all of them, Dimry included. Wow.
Third down and 9. Harmon in motion. It is high, but it is caught by Ronnie Harmon, who pulls it down, and that was a high, tough catch, and he's got the first down.
Well, last year, one of the replays they continued to show was a one-handed catch that Ronnie Harmon made against the Raiders. That one wasn't so much a one-handed catch. He caught it the second time around, and as soon as he committed with the one hand, he really pays for it. Watch the middle of your screen. Ronnie Harmon is going to come from the left. Watch him double catch it right there. Oh, doesn't quite up. There he gets it. Comes underneath. Pays the price. Daryl Hall comes in and gives him a lick.
And be sure to stay with us here on NBC tonight. We have some very... All right, now for an update, let's go to New York and Jim Lampley.
And Charlie, we take a look at a match point entirely befitting the absence of drama in the men's U.S. Open final between Pete Sampras and Cedric Cornbread Pialin. Sampras 6-4, 6-4, 6-3, an easy winner. The U.S. Open Championship to go with the Wimbledon title he won earlier this summer. Back to you, Charlie.
Of course, the Wimbledon title that you saw on NBC, and he wins in straight sets.
Cedric Cornbread Pialin. Those basketball fans remember, of course, Cedric Maxwell, the Boston Celtics. That was good, Lamps. I like that.
Buffalo and Dallas now tied at 10. Oh.
You saw the numbers.
Speaking of 10, the margin here is 10. San Diego trailing by 10. They have a first and 10.
Hopefully Ronnie Harmon is all right. You saw the numbers that were put up there. Over 120 yards in total offense. Harmon has really been the focal point this half.
And Natron Means is the ball carrier. Mecklenburg with the tackle.
Natron Means is solid. Butts does the things that he does, and of course Bieniemy is a contributor, but it's just different. You talk to the defensive coordinators, you talk to people like Carl Mecklenburg, and when number 33 is in the game, it just changes things. While Ronnie Harmon's catching his breath, gives the Denver defense a chance to regroup.
Passes tactical. Means the intended receiver. The only thing that has been open has been over the middle, defensively. The Broncos have taken the wide receivers out of the offense.
Well, they certainly have. Again, not much of a pass rush, good protection. Throws the ball high. He was lucky that Wyman didn't intercept that one. Laid out, almost got a piece of it. Now Ronnie Harmon is back in the game. That changes things, both offensively and defensively.
Third down and 10 at the Denver 15. Just over 10 minutes left. Play action fake, has a man, hits him, and it is Anthony Miller. He caught it at the 10, and he gave ground. He'll be down at the 12-yard line.
Well, it would be easy to criticize Miller on that situation, but even if he runs up the field, he's going to get tackled short of the first down. He was trying to make something happen. He knew that it was third and long. Watch him catching the ball coming across from the left side. There he is on the crossing route. Watch the catch. Now, even if he cuts up field, both Atwater and Hall are going to tackle him. Say, in this case, at about the 9-yard line, he still would have been 4 yards short.
30-yard field goal attempt by John Carney to take the margin to 7. He has hit 22 in a row, 6 of 6 last week. And this is good. He now has hit 23 in a row. And we'll be back in a moment. John Carney is kicking off, and he will sail it. Whoa, look at this. As he nails it. Now, I mentioned that He just hit his 23rd field goal in a row.
Now, Morton Anderson, the record with 25, he had that on his first kick in the game against Atlanta today, but he missed his second attempt, so that's where the record lies. So Carney's got a shot at having the record all by himself if he can make 3 in a row.
Because he then is the only, as you saw, the only active players, you know, that are in that range. That'd be a nice one for him to go.
Former Notre Damer, I'm sure he was happy about that Michigan game yesterday.
Oh, yes. All right, Denver from their own 20-yard line. 9:19 left to go in the ballgame. And they are up by 7. And here is Rod Bernstein, and he is in trouble. And he's going to lose some yardage. As Gerald Williams, formerly with the Steelers, makes the play. Gerald really has great quickness, and the ball club expects a lot from him. 10-minute ticker going by. Check of all the early games.
I was going to say they expect a lot from him because they shelled out $1.7 million for 1 year. So
that's not. You always bring up the money.
Wait a minute.
They don't expect a lot from him because of the money they paid. They expect a lot from him because he's a great ball player.
Well, so you're saying they're paying $1.7 million to some stiff? Is that
no,
what
I did not say that.
All
I
right.
said that we should have had the $1.7 million.
Okay. Well, all right. I agree.
I knew you would.
But I mean, there is some expectation there, and only a 1-year deal.
Second down and 12. Loss of 2 on the play. Russell goes in motion. Elway to throw. This one is over the middle. The pass is complete to Bernstein. And he is beginning to show some of the niftiness of number 33, Ronnie Harmon.
Junior Seau was out there pointing. Junior had him in coverage, but he got lost on Shannon Sharp. Look at 55 to the left of your screen. He's going to get bumped off on Sharp. Look at him now. He comes in, and he's upset with himself because he had 33 in man-for-man coverage, but Shannon Sharp distracted him.
Spot the ball at the 31. It is a first down, and we're moving on the 8-minute mark. Time remaining. Elway to throw. And Bernstein drops this one.
Dropped a sure touchdown pass last week against the Jets. They really felt like, interesting enough, when San Diego drafted him in 1987, wearing, as you mentioned, number 82, they really thought he was going to be a Pro Bowl tight end.
Tight end, oh yes.
Didn't look like it there.
And the crowd's so important here at Mile High Stadium. Past 10 years, look at that home record. 63 and 17, best in the NFL.
That's amazing. Very impressive.
Almost 79%.
Says a lot for the fans here in this community, not only how rabid they are and excited, but how knowledgeable they are about football.
Elway fires, pass is complete. And here is Arthur Marshall, and he has the first down. Listen, they may not mark it. They mark it at the 40.
A little bit short.
That's going to be a little short.
It's a great job by Elway getting that ball off. San Diego Chargers ran a stunt up front with Leslie O'Neal and Sean Lee, and Sean Lee came off untouched right in Elway's face, but Elway delivered the ball right on the money. Gary
Plummer with the tackle. Jets are out in front of Miami by 10, as you saw with the ticker going by, 24-14.
Now, is this another situation? Now, I'll be interested, Charlie, if this is another situation where they try to draw the offsides and if the Chargers will hang in there. Nope.
Bernstein tries to go over the top and then comes down and leans. Seau says no. A couple of Broncos say yes.
Where the linesman came into market, I say it's short. Boy, that was a great push on the part of the San Diego front four. And really a good idea on the part of the, you can see, look at the way Elway's walking out the field disconsolate. Actually, that was a great idea on their part to say, hey, look, we tried to draw him offsides. We'll catch him with a quick count. Didn't fool him at all.
You know, the thing, though, Bernstein doesn't go over the top all that way.
Well, now they're really upset about the mark. That mark is actually a loss from what they had. Remember, the ball was actually over the 40-yard line. Well, you saw Elway's reaction. That's definitely short.
They bring out the change to make it official. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's short. No question. And it's going to be fourth down and about a foot. 6:55 time remaining. You lead by 7. Do you gamble here?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. See, well short as we.
Oh, yeah, by the length of the football. 11 1/4 inches.
Now, it's funny you'd say that. Take a look at the push. Once again, the Chargers able to get underneath. There on the bottom of the pile. Once again, Sean Lee is a part of that, and Blaze Winter, number 96. Darren Carrington coming over the top. Great group effort on the part of the Chargers.
And Tom Ruin, the former Buffalo from the University of Colorado, will be kicking, and Darian Gordon, the former Cardinal from Stanford, is the return man. Oh,
what a kick.
Great kick. Taken at the 6. And has 4 yards on the return. Tony Kimbrough was downfield for the Broncos. 54 yards on the catch. Sayal. Now, the towel does not have his logo on it, but it may in the future. Sayal gear. This is, he is at work merchandise.
He's big.
He is big.
He's big. Check it out.
Yeah.
Say ow.
Yeah.
Say ow is what he says when he tackles people. This is my thing.
And you are watching a record being made. Is that Todd has taken his microphone off. We're back and ready to roll. From the 10, Humphreys, far side, pass is complete. Only going to be a couple of yards. Ronnie Harmon, to answer your question, you know, he is all right after he took a vicious hit, though, didn't he?
Give Jeff Mills credit there. He'd been driving Jeff Mills crazy, both in coverage and trying to tackle him, but Mills wasn't fooled that time, ran right over the top of him. Good play by 51.
Is there a name for that move that you just put on camera?
Yeah, man, it's like, hey, it's my personal funk. You know?
It's Christensen.
It's Alpine Funk.
Alpine Funk. Yeah. That's Alpine, Utah.
There you go. Oh.
We talked about the crowd. They are back in the ballgame. Shane Dronette making the play. And a quick update. Buffalo back in front of Dallas by a score of 13-10. How much time left in that game? Ooh, only
big wham block on the part of, look in motion number 86. You can see Powell. Look at him. He just creams the defensive lineman. In this case, Jeff Robinson, but the rest of the people made up for and stuffed him inside.
Harmon, the remaining back, he's in the left flat. He's the outlet man. This comes over the middle and it is incomplete to Derek Walker, who has caught a touchdown pass in the ballgame. Dronette again. It'll be 4th down, and the kicking team comes in.
This again is where the crowd makes a big difference. They get loud. They're on their end of the field. Humphrey really had plenty of time to throw. He goes back, looks downfield. He just overthrows. Take a look. Walker's going to get up, and he's going to have plenty of time to get him. Oh, look at that. He completely overthrows him, and now they're forced to kick.
And remember, it is not John Kidd. He's hurt. John Carney is kicking, and here comes Glenn Milburn. He is the return man. Good kick. He takes it at the 47, an in-out move, and then he's down. Boy, he always shows an outstanding move. Alfred Pipuna made the tackle. We'll be back in a moment.
That would put things away. On the other side, Bill Arnsparger, he's got to create something for the Chargers here to make them go 3 and punt, or else this game could be in the bag for the Broncos.
Elway is thrown for 294 yards. You know what he was doing there? He was just dumping it off and taking the incompletion.
But that was the very play, Charlie, that earlier they had the touchdown to Rivers. This time they smelled it out. Grossman was not fooled by the play action. Sayal was right out in the flat with him. Even if he catches it, it's no game.
Something that I've always wanted to do, but we've never done it on the air. And that is...
Dance?
But you always want to leave.
Okay.
Denver is at Kansas City Monday night.
Correct.
And I know that Frank Gifford probably prepares more than anybody else in the business. He'll be looking at the tape. Hi, Frank. You're off to a great start this year, and you're doing a super job. Keep it up.
I loved you in the Lay's commercial, Frank. That's a good look for you.
Here's Reggie Rivers.
Big tackle by Sean Van Horst. Rivers makes a good move, cuts to the outside. If he can get by Van Horst, he has the first down, and the clock continues to run in Denver's favor. Instead, Van Horst comes up. Look at the opening here. Good cut back by Rivers, finds the hole, gets past Williams. Now here comes Van Horst, cutting his legs out from under him, creating a big 3rd down play here for the Broncos.
The ball at the 41-yard line, and they need 6 for the first down. 4:25 and counting, time remaining. That's a lot of time. The margin is 6. Denver leads it. And here is Bernstein, and he runs into a traffic jam. It's not there. Grabbing a hold was Marquez Pope.
Now
he's trying to dig in and pull him down. Now what do you do?
Here's an interesting point, Charlie. They've got one of the long-distance kickers, and that's who they're going to bring out right now in Jason Elam.
And he'd be kicking off of grass, too.
That's the kind of confidence that they have in this rookie. This is going to be about a 54, 55-yard attempt for the rookie. Boy, this is a lot of pressure. I mean, I know he can do it in practice. That's a little different. With 350 and running to put the game on ice in front of 75,000, it's a little different story.
34, the official distance. And he's got it. Is so pumped up, I figured he'd just kick it out of the end zone, but he doesn't. Nate Lewis will down it. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Charlie, you know, it's one thing to kick a 70-yarder in practice. It's another thing to kick a couple of 50-yarders in the exhibition season. But when the game is on the line and you need a big kick to come through like that, that young man has to be very happy with himself. He really didn't get all of it. You can see he's not quite sure there. He sees it straight, but he's going to follow it with a little body English, waiting for the call. I got it. I got it.
Tommy Maddox, who was holding, he had the read on it. And Keith Karch was the snapper.
So now I guess
and Wade knew, yes.
And so you know now that he can wear the wristbands as often as he likes.
Certainly. And he can write 54 on them.
Absolutely.
All right, San Diego. 3.5 minutes left. Down by 10 from their own 20-yard line. Dropped off to Ronnie Harmon. And Harmon will head up the sideline and go out of bounds. Steve Atwater in hot pursuit.
Denver will let them have that all day.
Gain of 6, second down and 4. And this sellout crowd, are you ready for this? A few of them are leaving. Not that many, but some are.
Well, if San Diego can get a quick score and hold them defensively or an onside kick, you never know.
Last play took 8 seconds, 3:22. Time remaining, and this is incomplete to Derek Walker. And Darrell Hall was there for the Bronco defense. San Diego returns home. They will host the Houston Oilers with a big win today. Their record is now 1-1. As they defeated Kansas City without Joe Montana. And speaking of Joe Montana, he is expected to be back next Monday night in Kansas City against the Denver Broncos.
I don't know that if you get 30-0 against Houston, I don't think he'd have made that much difference.
I don't think so either. I think after Houston was upset on the first week that they would have taken out anybody.
Yeah.
This is behind Anthony Miller. He reaches back, makes the catch, and Braxton makes the tackle at the 35 at the 36-yard line.
That was a great catch.
Yes.
That was completely behind him. Nice job. Good hands on the part of 83.
Third down conversion, and San Diego stops the clock with 3:04 left in the game. We'll be back in just a moment. 13-10. Matt Darby with 12 seconds left in the ball game intercepted the ball, and that was it.
Is it just me, or do I hear the Brinks truck backing up to the Emmitt Smith house?
Here's the pass. It is complete. And this is Alfred Prapunu on the receiving end, and he is out to the 40-yard line.
I asked you that earlier, your opinion, what you thought. And I know, don't give me the Jones line again. I'm curious what you think.
I think he'll be back. I think they'll work the deal, and Emmitt Smith will be back, and the Dallas Cowboys need him. And the NFL needs him, and the viewers need him. We need him. He's a great ball player. He should be playing. Pass, far side pass is complete to Ronnie Harmon, and he backs out of bounds. And all of a sudden, San Diego, very quietly and very quickly, at their own 47-yard line with 2:38 left to go. So they've less than a minute, and all of a sudden, they are very close to midfield.
Once again, Denver is content to do that. The 5 and 6 and 8-yard gains take up too much time, and now with 2:38, what San Diego needs here is they need double in pattern or a short corner, a chance to get the ball downfield.
San Diego with 2 timeouts. The Broncos have 3. First, they make the touchdown. They've got to go for the onside kick and a long field goal attempt. That's what they've got there. And here goes the deep, and it is intercepted. It is picked up by Steve Atwater. Atwater to the 50. He cuts back at the 40. He is to the 30. He makes another cut. He is to the 10, and then finally cut from behind by Sean Jefferson. And Jefferson chased him all the way. But that's the clincher.
Best described here as an ill-advised pass. This is where the most people are, right in the middle of the field. trying to find the seam. Humphries just throws the ball right in the waiting arms of Steve Atwater. And of course, you remember that offensive people are not normally tacklers. You don't see too many white shirts here. And right here, you can see, look at that, a little bit, not exactly pursuit to the ball until you see Sean Jefferson, who really lays out the speed here, almost strips the ball from Atwater. Atwater running out of gas there at the 5-yard line, but a big play and a big turnover for the Broncos.
68 yards on the return. And it's a first down at the 6. Reggie Rivers is nothing there.
Now the crowd's booing here, but the idea isn't necessarily to punch in a touchdown, but to take the time away. You see Gary Plummer calling timeout before it can hit the 2-minute warning, so the Chargers can preserve whatever opportunity they might have.
Gives them one extra play. Clock is stopped with 2:06 left to go. And we have an excellent lineup of NFL games for you next Sunday, another doubleheader. First half, you'll see either Cincinnati-Pittsburgh or Seattle-New England. And the second half, Cleveland and the Raiders or Houston at San Diego. And, of course, we'll be in San Diego. And Houston, with that victory over Kansas City, their record 1-1. The Chargers looks as if their record's going to be 1-1. Should be a big showdown.
Another thing I want to ask you with regards to, what do you think of Buddy Ryan's comments regarding the offense? Think that's a situation where you keep his mouth shut?
I like better of Warren Moon's comments when he said, why didn't everybody just shut up and go play football?
At 30-0, I guess they did.
Yeah, they did. Our statistician, Ray Friedman, our spotters, Mark Friedman and Brad Pearson. Nate Leaf and Mike Farrell, our scores. Corey Bruce is our runner. Great crew, guys. And we had a lot of fun so far. New York Jets defeated Miami. That's a final by 10. And the Rams shut out Pittsburgh 27-0. Going to be an interesting year. Here's Bernstein, and he kind of looked like he wanted to crawl over Junior Seau. No, that wasn't Junior Seau. That was Sean Van Horst that he wanted to crawl over. And the 2-minute warning. An official time of 1:53. Back in a moment. And reset at 1:58. That is the time remaining. Denver up by 10. Third down goal to go. And the dive and the score. Robert Del Pino.
Well, now he thought about the same thing Bernstein did. Spiked the ball, changed his mind, and said, well, it's my touchdown. So I guess maybe I will take that ball.
I like that.
That's icing on the cake at this point for the Broncos. Good job on the right side of the line. Pulling out, you can see Habib puts the hit on Grossman, and underneath him, Del Pino able to get over for the score.
And Jason Elam, who has a 54-yard field goal, will try and tack on the extra point. And it is good. Denver 34, San Diego 17. We'll be back with the kickoff in a moment.
1986.
And Bobby Ross pacing the sideline. And Wade Phillips, all smiles.
Man, I was going to say John Elway is certainly the most famous man in the Rocky Mountains, but this guy is going to be the most popular if this continues.
You're right.
As my dad would say, he's a likable cuss.
He is. He truly is. And here is the kickoff. This one is high and short. And that's to run some time off of the clock. Here's Nate Lewis. But the clock starts on the return as soon as the ball is touched inside the last 2 minutes. Into the end zone, no time is run out. Now, it is time for... You have the card. I have the card. The Hager wrinkle-free cotton super play of the game.
17-14 at this point, 3rd and 18. The Chargers, if they can hold him here, get right back in the game. But Elway's able to scramble out, and newly reacquired Vance Johnson makes the big 52-yard grab that enables them to give the touchdown that puts them ahead for good. That is our Hager wrinkle-free cotton's super play of the game. A little Vanderbilt right there.
I've lost Todd. Todd's gone. He'll be back next week, but right now he's gone. Here's Johnny Barnes, and Barnes has the reception, and he's out to the 42-yard line. San Diego has one timeout remaining. Humphries is down, and he is staggering. And there is a flag down at the 15.
I think they're going to call Appears it's going to be roughing the passer.
I would think so.
Unnecessary roughness, roughing the quarterback. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
You can see he's holding his jaw. Take a look in the pocket. Try to see Humphries at the end of this play. Gets the throw off. There's Mecklenburg, but coming from the side, right underneath his chin is number 91 Willie Oshiden, and that's what the referee saw. Felt that he had another step that he could have held up. And of course, the head comes right under the chin, and that's what's bothering Humphries at this point. Nearly 300 yards. He's had some injury problems, Charlie, throughout camp. He had the shoulder. His knee was bothering him a little bit.
Yeah. And John Freeze will come in, and what a tough spot. 1:37 left, and you don't even have a chance to warm up.
He's feeling. You can see him right there feeling his jaw.
What if the jaw's broken?
That's where his helmet came up right in that spot.
And Freeze to throw. And the pass is complete. And a reminder on NBC tonight. And the lineup that we have talked about before. Eyewitness video, sequence, the John Lurquette Show, and Wings. And here is the pass. And this one is complete. And all of a sudden, San Diego is at the 13-yard line of Denver. 1:08 and counting, and they're going to stop the clock. And that will be their last timeout.
But you got to be happy for this kid.
Yes.
6th-round pick out of Idaho a couple of years ago. Bobby Beathard really high on him. Everybody says, what are you talking about from division, a 2A school or whatever it is? Kid was actually going to be the starter last year. Then he tears up his knee. They have to make the trade for Humphries. And, of course, the rest is history. Coming back from the 0-4, 11-5 division title. And now he finds himself sitting on the bench. And I thought it funny that when he comes in, you say, he needs some time to warm up. And right away.
Well, he's warming up on the field.
Oh, yeah? He looked pretty good there the last 2 throws.
But one thing for the Chargers, and it is a luxury to have 2 quality quarterbacks in Stan Humphries and John Freeze.
Well, you have to face it, Charlie. The big issue now in the National Football League, particularly defensively, is to get to the quarterback. The emphasis on rushing the passer is so profound now that I really do think that you have to have a good backup. And that's why I'm surprised. In my opinion, one of the few mistakes Wade Phillips has done is to not procure a veteran backup for John Elway. You recall last year, they're in the thick of the hunt. Elway gets hurt. They have to turn to the rookie. They lose 4 straight. I'm surprised they haven't changed that.
They have Tommy Maddox and Sean Moore. And it is wobbly and almost intercepted.
Jeff Robinson
got
a piece of Freeze's arm.
Yeah. That stops the clock. 1:03.
I mean, you can argue that if maybe even if Elway had been healthy, they weren't going to win the AFC West. But they were 7-3 with him, and then he goes out in 4 straight games. They're 7-7. Without him in the lineup. And I remember last year Dan Reeves making the point, we made a mistake not replacing Kubiak with a veteran player. I'm just surprised. Wade told me at the time, he says, well, we have a lot more confidence in Maddox in this year, but, how much experience is he going to get playing out on the field with John Elway? You're not going to get it in practice.
This is behind Anthony Miller. And it's going to be 3rd down with 58 seconds left.
What comes to mind as you mentioned the 2 quarterback situation is Buffalo. How many games has Frank Reich come in 1 game for the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to say in their 3 Super Bowl appearances to say that he hasn't had a major hand in that would be a fallacy. I mean, he made a major contribution. A lot of pressure on that youngster, not just because of the big contract and being a 1st-round pick, but as we mentioned, if Elway goes down.
Freeze pass is complete to Lewis, and he is going to be to the 4-yard line. Now we expect him to hurry up.
4th down.
It's going to be 4th down. He can't spike it.
A little bit short. Trap play to Ronnie Harmon right here would surprise the Broncos.
Goes in zone. Shot Jefferson. Did that tear him off of his shoulder pads?
I think that was a catchable ball. Look at the reaction of Bobby Ross. Very disappointed.
And that would have been with 33 seconds left. Then you have a chance for an onside kick and go for the bomb.
And I think the thing that he's upset with here is that has really been a problem for the Chargers the first 2 games is drop passes. Last week there were 7. This week I haven't counted, but I'm sure there's been at least 5. And you can see the disappointment that he has right there because Freeze comes in, does everything he's supposed to. And that's how Bobby Ross is disgusted. Those are physical errors. That can't be. You can't have 12 drop passes in 2 games.
And again, that was 4th down. Denver holds. They take over. 33 seconds left. They'll just run it out. And we do not have a report on Stan Humphries.
That's right. He was grabbing his jaw.
jaw.
I think he's all right. I think he's all right. Of course,
And Elway just he'll down it here. San Diego is out of timeouts. And so that is it. So we'll take the countdown to make it official. The San Diego Chargers now with a record of 1-1. And the Denver Broncos, they are off to a great start. Their record now is 2-0.
Let me once again say that as well as John Elway is playing and some of the people on defense, hats off to the offensive line for the Broncos. They're the ones protecting the man, doing an outstanding job in the first 2 games of the season.
And the final score, the Denver Broncos 34 and the San Diego Chargers 17. A meeting of the quarterbacks here at Mile High Stadium, and there is the winning coach. And we'll be back in just a moment.